are streaming. Oh, did I stop that? Yeah. Alright, what's up? Yo, what's up? This is a freaking call-in show, yo. You're gonna be able to call into this show and talk to me about something. Today we're talking about ads. Ads? Advertisements. Why? Because I couldn't think of a topic. I couldn't think of anything to talk about, and this is something that I see a lot. Ads, something that happens to me, so I felt like that's relevant, right? We all see ads. Obviously, excuse me. Obviously, I've got my ad blockers on. I'm not a total freaking internet rube. I don't watch ads on YouTube on my desktop, my laptop. I got a new laptop, by the way. My friend Landon gave me a laptop, and it's so much better than my shitty laptop. So now the stream works. We're going on 30 FPS, baby. We're only using 7.4% of the CPU. On my other laptop, it was like 89.8% of the CPU, and it went at like 0.98 FPS. So that's nice. That's not relevant to ads, though. I never get ads for computers, which is weird. Maybe it's just because the internet knows that I have no money. There's this whole thing with the ads on the internet. We've got it's targeted ads now. You've got your ad profile. Because all the sites that you go to, I don't know what I'm talking about just to preface this, but I'm just going to say it anyway. All the sites that you go to, you get the cookies. Such a cute name for such a dastardly thing. I don't know what cookies are, for the record, but I feel like they're bad. They what do? They track you or some shit? They're looking at your shit? Isn't it like in Gmail? They say, in Gmail, hey, just so you know, we're going to look at the text of all your emails. We're going to look at every single word that goes in or out of your Gmail for your benefit, for your ad profile, so that you can get recommended products that you might be interested in. It's like a favor that people do for you, companies. Because you don't want to see ads that you're not interested in. That's the old world of ads. Just shooting them out there, just spraying ads all over the place. Just, hey, maybe if 100 million people see this, someone's going to buy this shit. But now it's more targeted. It's based on your individual preferences. And it feels weird because you gotta, I feel like I'm judged. Like, when I'm seeing the ads that I'm getting, I'm like, why? What are you saying? I get a lot of ads for erectile dysfunction. How did they know that, dude? How did they know? Where did they find that info, dude? I don't ever talk about that shit. I don't get it. I get ads for hair loss. I have hair. I don't need that. I have an erect penis. I don't have a dysfunction. I'm always erect, dude. No, my Instagram, that's where I see the most ads. It's like every third post. I think it's more than... Is that the normal experience with Instagram? It's like every third post. And it's because I watch the ads, because I am interested in ads. And I always watch the ads and I always click on the thing. Because I'm always getting these weird wellness... sometimes they're pills, sometimes they're drinks, sometimes they're devices. I was getting an ad for... What was it called? Midi? It was like a headband you wear. It was like an electronic headband that measures the blood flow in your brain, in the front of your brain, because you want a lot of blood in your forehead to do thinking properly. And so you wear this headband, and then you download an app, and then you look at a ball on the screen of an app, and you try to make the ball go up and it goes up if you've got more blood in your brain. So it's like you got to think about putting blood. You're like thinking like, come on, get the fucking blood up there, and that makes it happen. I don't know. It's sort of, I'm not entirely sure how it works, but yeah, after doing that for 3 months, you're basically Superman. You can move your blood wherever you want in your body. You control your blood. I'm glad that my blood is just automatic. I mean, I don't want to take manual control over my blood flow. I wouldn't know where to put it. Where does it go? Do I need the blood in my hands when I'm grabbing something? Where does the blood go normally? I don't know. Okay, anyway, I don't know. I get all kinds of wellness things. They're all like, they're mainly focused on like, are you procrastinating? Do you want to enter the endless flow state of productivity? You can do that with the help of these functional mushrooms, these adaptogens and this nootropic blend of plants from Brazil. Sometimes they're drinks, sometimes they're pills, sometimes they're chewies. And it makes sense to target me for that because, like, I'm on Instagram. So clearly I am avoiding doing work. So that's the best time to get me for that. It's hard to deny it. It's hard to be like, I don't fucking need that shit. I'm doing fine. I'm just wasting time on Instagram just. There's not a good answer. But I'm curious what ads other people are getting. Is everyone getting the same ads as me? Because that's what it's like. It makes sense in my head. It's like, do the procrastination, the wellness ads because we're on Instagram. But are other people getting different ads? That's what I want to figure out. I want to hear about your ads that you're getting, your ad profile. Yeah, that's basically what this is about. Is I just want to hear what kind of ads you're getting. Are you getting those erectile dysfunction ads? Is that just me? Come on, no way, dude. I mean, they know that I'm a guy, I guess. And is this a good thing? Are targeted ads good? Is it better than the alternative of just getting ads for things that you don't want? Do you want to get ads for things that you do want? And everyone's got a story, a creepy story about, like, I said something in a conversation in real life and then I started getting ads for it. Like, everyone has a story like that. Does that actually happen? Are your devices actually just listening to every word you say to better advertise to you? And is that a good thing? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Woohoo! All right. I'm going to turn on the calling machine here. Get this guy off. All right. The number to call in is 518-288-7938. You can call in, tell me about your ad experience. Or just your opinion on ads. If you don't want to share your embarrassing ads that you get. Here's a caller right now. Let's see if this sound works.
Call from
ChatGPT.
Hello, is this ChatGPT?
Hey, what's up? Been a while.
How's it going?
Good. I just wanted to call in real quick, tell you about a little ad experience I had the other day at the movies.
Oh, at the movies, okay.
Yeah, so, sorry, I'm just got out of Walmart and I'm carrying a big pack of beer, so I'm kind of winded.
You sound a bit tired.
But,
all right, go on.
Speaking of Walmart and Christmas, you know the Grinch, green guy?
Yeah, I know that guy. Not personally, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, not many people do, but you know the story and all that.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm sitting in the theater, and this ad comes on, and it's the Grinch, and he's, like, got all these packages, he's stealing the packages off, and he's like a porch pirate.
The modern Grinch.
Yeah, he takes them all back to his Grinch cave, and when he gets back there, he starts opening them and, like, indulging in the consumerism and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes him happy. And so he gives them all back to the Who's and, like, orders them more things. And then everyone is happy because they have stuff.
Wow.
And then the Walmart logo shows up and it says, Walmart, order online and get whatever you want for Christmas.
Wow.
And I'm just thinking, talk about rolling in your grave.
That is.
Imagine you're Dr. Himmler Seuss or whatever, and this is what they make of your green legacy.
Yeah, that was the message of the Grinch, was that presents are the point. And if you don't get presents, then Christmas sucks.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then they had one other thing is, you ever see those ads where it's like some kind of sappy, like, family story, you know? And you're like, what is this possibly advertising? And then it gets to the end and it throws you a curveball and you see the logo and you're just like, how the hell was this a advertisement for Coca-Cola? They had one of those right after the Walmart commercial, and it's like someone's driving their demented grandma around and trying to like trigger her memories because she doesn't remember her family's face and their voices or anything.
Oh God.
And it's like, wow, this is horrible. And then eventually they take her to like this drive-in movie theater, which, first of all, that does not exist anymore. There is no way you're finding your grandma's first date drive-in movie theater and taking her there in the year of our Lord 2023. But it like triggers her memory, and then they drive home, and then she looks at her husband in the eyes and like recognizes him for the first time.
Oh my God. Wow.
And then it zooms out, and you see GMC, where memories are made. And they're advertising some GMC car from 1983, I guess.
Oh, because they drove to the drive-in theater.
Yeah, and she had her first kiss there.
Oh, nice. Okay,
yeah.
Nice. I thought it was going to actually be a Coke advertisement where it's just like she didn't remember her family, but then she pops a cold Coke and she's like, I remember this.
Yeah.
This will never leave my memory.
Remembers. Yeah. Anyway, this has gotten out of hand. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of advertisements these days. I don't see them much because I've always got ad blockers on everything, although YouTube's kind of like screwing that up for me now.
What are they doing?
They got like turbo ad block remover thing where it'll play an ad and it'll just be the audio. Like the ad doesn't even show up because your ad blocker like partly blocks it. But then they can somehow sneak around it and make you listen to the ad.
Yeah, you know, with this laptop I got, it's like, you know, it's got an old version of Windows on it, and then I accidentally turned it off and it updated Windows, and my browser just stopped working. All the sites, like YouTube, would show up as a white screen, and I would scroll over it, and little thumbnails would appear. It was like everything was all broken. I feel like it was ad firmware shit. I had to reset the computer to get back to the old Windows to make it work again.
Yeah, software sucks. This is totally unrelated, so I won't drag it on for long. But I just got a job working for this like big software company, and of course, like almost everything they do is outsourced to another country.
Yeah.
But I'm the unfortunate position of being the only person like in this country who's working on the same stuff as the outsourced team. And so I have to deal with the like horribly written, like there's stuff in there that's not even in English, trying to figure it all out. And it is a wonder that literally anything works these days. You can't even you don't even have control over your own computer to be able to tell it like when you want to update it.
Yeah, I just have to never turn this computer off. That seems to be the trick.
See, nowadays they just turn it off for you. Like, my laptop started doing that. I'm getting ready to just like completely wipe it and put some kind of weird Linux system on it or whatever, where the only thing that I can do is play Super Tux Kart.
All right, well, hey man, thank you for calling in. Good hearing from you.
Yeah, see you.
All right, have a good one. Oh.
Call from
Clarence.
Clarence, you're back.
Hey, dude, what's up? I'm glad I caught you.
Yeah, man, glad you got in. We're talking ads today. What kind of ads are you seeing?
Dude, I actually have something to say about ads. I see just like your typical ad stuff. I have noticed that it does like listen to my conversations and whatnot. then try to like sell me stuff.
All right, well, start. If you have something to say about ads, what do you have to say? You got something you thought about here?
I miss when advertisements were like. I feel like advertisements now are so safe. You know what I mean? Back then, do you remember those ads where Crash Bandicoot would like go into the Nintendo parking lot and like break into their cars and stuff?
Yeah.
And like thinking of this ad for like I think it was Guitar Hero like early 2000s. His kid's having a birthday party and his mom brings in a cake and he's like, "Fuck that sponge cake! I didn't want sponge cake." So like I feel like ads used to be a lot more like creative,
fun,
and now they're just like so sad and so just like safe and politically correct.
Well, it's also like there's so many different types of ads for different mediums. Like you're probably talking about those ads, like those are TV ads, but now TV ads, like not even the ads that I ever see. We're seeing internet ads.
Yeah, and again, it's all like targeted based on your ad profile or whatever. Actually, I went to go see a movie the other day and I saw that same ad where the Grinch is stealing stuff the last caller was talking about. Mm-hmm. And it just made me so sad. I was like,
this ad
Mr. Seuss is like actually rolling in his grave.
Yes, Dr. Seuss. Why would you take away that man's credentials?
Oh, you're right. Sorry, Dr. Seuss.
But like these internet ads, like on social media, it's like they're geared towards that because they want to look like social media posts. So the ads are just like some guy talking on a podcast or some guy talking into his cell phone. It's like it's not even production like a TV ad used to be.
Yeah, because they want you to click on it and they'll try to trick you into thinking it's like a post or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's an interesting question though. I've noticed you've never done any like sponsorship deals or anything on your channel, like, oh, here's the grill video brought to you by Manscaped or whatever. But if you could have a sponsor, who would you have? If you could have any sponsor.
I have no idea how I could possibly do a sponsor and not have it seem like the worst thing in the world.
No, but if you could be sponsored by anyone, I think I'd pick like Red Bull. But
I would just,
what would you like to be sponsored by?
I would just be sponsored by whoever would give me $1 million. It's not like a matter of believing in the product, but it's like if for some reason somebody would give me $1 million, I would say whatever they wanted me to say on every single video.
Okay,
and you guys would understand.
Money talks.
No, but like the sponsorship deals are like, it's not a lot of money. People just make money on YouTube from it by doing it every single video, like 2 videos a week. And that's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that. I can't make 2 videos a week.
Wait. You are sponsored, though. This is brought by Chunk Monthly, dude.
It's true, dude. Thank you for bringing that up.
Dude, Chunk Monthly, go subscribe. Physical media mailed once a month. Minute Hour's a sellout. He is sponsored.
Believe he's right, dude. God damn, you got me. All right, well, hey, what do you have? Have you had any targeted ads that you think like these are specific to you, or do they just feel like it's what everybody gets?
I definitely feel that everyone's getting a lot of very diverse ads depending on like what they're talking about, because like your phone is listening to you 24/7 and like targeting whatever. So
what do you get? What have you been talking about lately that your phone is primed and ready to sell you?
So I work for a call center that it's a company that other companies outsource to for customer service, right? So like one week I'll be talking about this campaign, next week I'll be talking about this campaign like solar or whatever. But I notice whenever I switch campaigns, all the ads will be about what I'm talking about all day. So it's like right now they have me selling bathtubs. They have me calling up all the stinky people in the U.S. selling bathtubs.
So if you're a call center, like how does that work? Are you also targeting people? Your company, they're targeting the stinky people, or are they people who are contacting you about bathtubs?
It's usually people who just accidentally clicked on an ad online and we just got their name, phone number, and address and zip code, and then we just call them up. And most people I call are like, I did not mean to do that.
Are they old people? Are they ethnic people?
Most of them are a little bit older, so it's like a special type of, it's a walk-in bathtub.
Walk-in bathtub?
Yeah, it's, I didn't even know they existed either.
Sell me on this, dude.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's just for people who like can't get in and out of the tub and they need like a door on their bathtub, I guess. I don't even know what it looks like. I just call them up and ask if they want one.
All right, well, dude, that sounds like good shit. Thanks for calling in, man.
I'm kind of part of the ad machine anyway, so.
Yeah, you're the blood and bone of the ad machine.
All right. Take it easy, dude.
Right.
Later.
Have a good one. Nice. Yeah, the people have been talking about YouTube being all broken because of ads. I feel like I ran into that with the Windows update. I don't know what was going on there. I had to reset to old Windows.
Zebz.
Zed? Was that Zed?
Oh, hello?
Hey, was that Zed?
Zebz.
Zeb?
Yeah, Z-E-B-Z. Zebz.
Zebz. Okay. What is that short for something?
Zebras.
Oh, okay.
My online shit. It's nothing special.
Very
Don't
nice.
worry.
We're talking about ads today.
Okay. I wanted to call in and tell you, have you ever, or ask you, I guess, have you ever seen that Dudley Moore movie called Crazy People?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it's awesome. It's about advertising people, but it's kind of like a comedy. The guy goes kind of crazy, and he makes all these commercials, and since they trust him, they air the commercials, and one of them's like a UPS commercial, and the guy, he cuts somebody off. He's like, hey, what's your fucking problem? He's like, I got packages delivered. Fuck you. And this, that went out on regular television. It's a really good movie about advertising.
Is this a documentary or a fictional movie?
No, it's fictional. It's funny.
Okay,
It's like some 80s flick. It was good shit.
Crazy People. All right, cool. I'll check that out.
Yeah. Hey, Wyatt, say hi to the Minute Hour. Say hi. Say hi. Oh, he doesn't want to say hi.
Dude, nice. Is that a child?
Yeah, it's my little boy. He's listening too, so say horrible things. He needs to hear it.
Nice. Yeah, you think about what's the world of internet advertising going to look like for him 10 years from now? Whoa.
Oh, it's going to be horrible. I'm not going to let him have anything. Why? Stop. Let me see that. I'm not going to let him have anything until he's about 18 years old. No social media.
Oh, nice.
Poison. Yeah, on my phone, I have everything, like, I think Firefox Focus. It doesn't keep track of any of your, searches or any of that stuff, so.
Dude, how's it going to work at school, though? Are you going to homeschool, or is he just going to be seeing all the devices and be mad jealous?
He probably... Come here, buddy. He's probably going to be pissed at me for a while, but I think later on in life, he will, he might appreciate it. Maybe he'll just disown me. I don't know. But I don't know. I've seen so many things about little girls killing themselves from bullying and all this horrible shit. I just don't want him to be exposed to any of it. Thankfully, I had a boy, not a girl. It'd be twice as bad, I think.
Yeah, thank God.
It was a female.
Thank God. Yeah, I mean, it is weird with the whole social media thing. How old are you? Were you growing up with that, smartphones, or was that happening after?
I'm your old audience. I'm 46.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, smartphones, that's not something that was happening while you were a kid.
Yeah, they weren't really a thing. I had dial-up when I was a kid. I had, a 14-core modem.
Couldn't use your landline and the internet at the same time?
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
What's the matter, little boy? Is he scaring you? Does his voice frighten you? Oh, by the way, I saw that the Noak Eric collaboration you did. That was some funny shit.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, man.
Yeah, my favorite part was when you're like, they're going to put you down. They're going to put poison in a needle.
Thank you, man.
My little boy watched that too as well.
All right, good. So he won't be affected by negative advertisements, but he will be made deranged by the content that I'm involved in.
Absolutely. It's not politically correct. It's good old-fashioned humor, which is rare to find these days. So, yeah, he's going to be force-fed this shit whether he likes it or not. Sorry, kid.
Very nice.
See, he laughed. He likes it.
Nice. What's his name?
Wyatt.
All right. Wyatt, thank your dad for calling in, and it was good hearing from you a little bit. Oh,
yeah.
Yo, what's up?
Say hi. Say hi. He says hi and he loves you.
All right. Nice. A new fan.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, man. Have a good one. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, no problem. Keep doing your shit.
Thank you, man. Bye. Oh, right in the
Call
next
from
Mickey.
Mickey?
Have a good one.
Mickey?
Thanks for calling in. Yeah, you too. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Keep doing your shit.
Was it Nikki or Mickey?
Oh, I'm on.
Yeah, you're here.
Oh, it's Mickey. Mickey's in like machine.
All right,
Hold on, let me mute my laptop. So,
yeah,
what's
dude.
going on, man?
Like, hey, how you doing? This is the call-in show. We're
good.
talking about ads today.
Yeah, I saw they had a live stream going, and I was just like in the middle of work, so I just abandoned that.
Oh, nice. Are you work from home or are you on the site?
I'm
Job
working from home these days. Yeah, I work an office job, so I just kind of chill out and do a bunch of audits.
Oh, cool. Audits? Like
insurance audits. It's pretty boring.
All right. So what's your ad profile look like? What are you getting advertisements for?
I think you might get these ads too, because you make music, but you know those Midi chord pack ads?
No, I only ever get just like ads for pills and drinks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What kind of pills?
Like erectile dysfunction pills.
Oh, all right. That's always good.
What are you're getting ads for chord packs, MIDI chord packs?
Yeah, it's these chord packs that pretty much they're just these MIDI packs that you drop into your DAW. And what they claim is that you don't need to know any music theory. The music industry is trying to hold you back.
Oh, yeah.
And what these are pro-level chords. And they like really emphasize that they're pro-leveled. Yeah, like what makes a chord professional?
Yeah, dude. How many notes are in these chords?
Yeah, it's like this chord has 56 notes in it. It's a pro-level chord.
It's a whole song in one chord.
Yeah, they'll like say like our pack has what is it? Something like 500 different chords or something, but they're all literally just like first inversion chords. And then you just take the MIDI notes and slide them down, and now it's in a different key.
Right.
But it's like that sort of stuff, and also like some like these guitar ads. It's this one simple trick will turn you into a pro. It's just like all these ads that kind of like skip the actual learning and practicing of music,
So do you ever like are you like buying instruments like VSTs and stuff? Like, why do you think it targets you for that? How does it know what you're doing?
Yeah, I think it's because I search up like plugins and like synths. I watch like a lot of equipment reviews. I'm like surrounded by equipment right now. And I think it's targeting me for those pro level chords.
Because I do music, but I don't know anything, and I don't buy anything because I don't know anything. I don't want to be one of the guys who are tricked by these ads to be like, suddenly I'll be able to make professional music if I just bought this MIDI chord pack with the huge chords.
Yeah.
So I'm never targeted for that.
Do you normally work in like just like a DAW, or do you use instruments?
The only instrument I can barely play is like a guitar, and that's just like normal, very basic chords. I use like Fruity Loops to make, video gamey type music. But I just use like the default plugins, and I've been using a lot of the Jenny plugin that this guy Landon made, who made this game Duck Game, and it's just like a plugin for like a bunch of Sega Genesis type instruments.
Oh, okay, that like old sound font.
But it's all free. Whenever I get anything, it's just free because like I know that I don't need to pay money to get like professional sounds because I would squander them. I don't know how to make professional music, so I'm not concerned with that.
I've always loved your music. Like I've listened to me and my friends have like watched your videos. You've been like an inside joke for a long time in my friends group. But all your audio skits, I honestly love your music. Like the executive science one. That's probably my favorite.
Dude, but like all the like pretty much all the music that goes into the scenes that's stuff that other people have made, and I'll just like put vocals over it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude, like the executive science stuff, like I think that's music from like Sam Spence. He's like the NFL Films music guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude, so I'm way less talented than you think I am.
Do you do most of the animation?
I don't do any of the animations.
No, that's right, Drew Langwood. I know he does some of the animations.
Drew Langlois, he does all the Langlois. It's French. It's French Canadian.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know.
I can't pronounce anything French.
That's okay. But yeah, all the animations are other people. They're artists. They're animation people. Like I can't draw for shit. I just do the voice stuff, and I put it over music that I take from other things, and I put it in like the video description, but it's not, I understand people don't always look through that stuff.
Yeah, probably not. I guess I'm one of them.
I'm shattering the illusion. You thought I was so cool, dude.
Yeah, you're not as cool as you know. I'm gonna hang up the phone now. I'm kind of disappointed.
I'm saying it's easy to be me. You don't have to like have so much training or anything. Like just be some dipshit who records his voice over things.
Yeah, well, I guess you're lucky you were born with a good voice for it.
All right.
There was one more ad I wanted to mention, which was just really weird. And it was strangely enough on YouTube. It was like a few years ago. I got this ad for this like rocket ship fleshlight thing where like you like put it over your cock. Yeah. And there's like two handles, like they're like joysticks that extend out on either side, and you just like place it over your cock, kind of like that in Monsters Inc. where they put that like metal dome thing over the sock and blew it up. You kind of put it over your cock like that, and you use the joystick to like operate it. But I haven't seen it since, and I looked it up. Not because I wanted to buy it. I was just honestly fascinated.
So
I don't think my girlfriend would be happy if I bought it.
Yeah, natural curiosity.
I could never find it, and it just popped up that one time for seemingly no reason.
It was probably too powerful. It was probably taking people's cocks to the moon.
Yeah. It was probably some like unreleased CIA equipment.
Was it like
supposed to be on the market?
Was it like, did it need electrical power? Was it battery operated? Did you plug it into the wall? What did moving the joysticks do you think?
It would like, there was like a cylinder, and then there was like a sheath inside that would like contract and expand.
Oh my God.
And vibrate.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
That's all the information I needed.
And then you use two joysticks. That's what I was wondering. Like, why would you need two joysticks?
That's going to be the future, dude. Total control over your fleshlights.
Yeah.
You're in the VR goggles. You're just tweaking your dick with every thumbstick.
I just can't wait till they got that fucking neural link connection with it, so you don't even have to use your hands.
All right, dude. Thank you for calling in.
All right, thanks, man. It was great talking to you.
All right, have a good one. All right, we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. All the music from this stream is from this album, Pure Midi Volume 2, which was produced by TBK Gao, which was like, we showed this guy's music. He's a music-making person as well, but this album is like a compilation of a bunch of people's music. Pure Midi. It's supposed to be like not like using sound effects or like never mind. I give up trying to explain it. That was really quick, but I already give up. It's just good video gamey type music, chip tune, MIDI. I don't know what the words mean, but I like the sounds. And here's more of it.
Welcome, dog stage.
Okay, this is the call-in show. You can call in. We're talking about ads today. The number is 518-288-7938. It's on the screen there. If you don't see that, call now. 518-288-7938. We're talking about ads and advertisements. And That's all. I just want to hear about the sort of ads that people are getting. You can give me your hot take on ads also in general, but I just want to hear someone else's ad profile.
Call from
Darren.
Darren.
Hello.
Yo, what's up?
Not much, man. How you doing?
I'm good. We're talking about ads today. What sort of ads are you seeing?
Man, I joined the military about a year ago, and all that's been popping up on my phone are join the Marines or join the Navy or join the Air Force over and over again.
But you already joined.
Yeah, I know. So I think they're targeting me to stay in longer, and I don't want to do that.
Was it an ad that convinced you to join in the first place?
No, my brother was in MOSOC Marines Recon, and he inspired me to join.
Well, when you watch the ads, do you think they are inspiring, or is that not doing it for you?
I mean, they make good ads and they are inspiring for people to join, but they're all lies. You don't do none of that stuff.
What are the ads like? I don't get these ads. Give me a breakdown.
So like for the Marine ads, they'll show like a squad infiltrating a forest area and throwing a drone up to look at a base and then blowing it up, and they're like, join the Marines, do something better. And the Navy will just show a bunch of boats and say, join the Navy. And yeah, and the Air Force will show, they actually made a pretty badass one. It was a jet flying around and put in slow motion sometimes and put quotes up about how cool it is to be a pilot and shit like that.
But these are real. Are they ever like targeting like gamers? Are they ever like Arma 3 screen captures?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I get a lot of Call of Duty ads from Modern Warfare 3 constantly. It's repetitive. It's so annoying.
It's just like you've been training for this moment your whole teenage life. Now it's time to make it a reality.
I'm working the thumbs out, man, and I could put it into real life, man.
So what would be the real what's wrong about the ads? What would be the real join the military ad that you would make?
Okay, so what I joined in the military was infantry. So if you join infantry expecting to do infantry stuff like in Call of Duty, you're only going to be really doing that stuff through training. After that, you're going to be the master with a broom. You'll be sweeping so much. Expect sweeping and push-ups. That's about it.
Keeping the base nice and clean?
Oh yeah, nice and clean for the battalion commander, so that way you can go and see your family, or he'll make you stay back and clean some more.
Dude, so are you aching for some active war time?
I mean, I wouldn't say aching, but because like people dying is always bad, but like I trained hard for it, so like it'd be nice to go do my job instead of like sweeping the sun off a sidewalk. I'd like to actually go do what I trained 6 to 7 months for.
So I don't know anything about the military at all. Not even the slightest bit. Is that something that like you guys are drilling a lot, like after you've gone through the basic training, or is it just like you've got it in there and then you're ready to recall that information when it's needed?
So basic training is them pretty much breaking you down as a civilian, or taking away you as like in the civilian world and putting you into a military mindset. So we're going to break you as a character and build you back up, and then you go through intensive training. And then when you get to your unit, after you complete that, then depending on where you go depends really on if you're still training or if you're just an expensive, deadly janitor.
Are you where are you stationed right now?
I'm in Fort Bliss, Texas, in El Paso, right next to the Mexican border.
Okay. So you'll be ready to put down that uprising.
Yeah,
when the Mexicans start pouring over, right?
Yeah, we'll be the first ones there.
So you didn't need an ad to join the military. Do you feel like the ads do work though for people who have people who aren't going to be influenced by family or other things?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if say someone's in high school when they're senior, they don't know what to do and they've been thinking about joining the military, they look at one of the Army or the Marine ads or something like that. It looks really cool. and maybe go and see in the world. And they don't show all the shitty parts of that. They show all the really cool stuff. And yeah, I can see that being inspiring. Like, hey man, I want to go do that. So you join up for some years and you do it. And
do you think there could be an ineffective ad that's just like, it's the same sort of slow-mo, like big music shots, but it's like a broom just like fucking sweeping dust right into a dustpan?
Right into a dustpan, or you're sitting there, you've been sweeping all day on the sidewalk, and they're telling you to hurry up and get the sun up, and you're like, I can't, it's not coming up. You
get any other ads, or is it all military focused? They're like, that's the one thing they know about you.
Majority of it's military, but like sometimes I'll be sitting here and I'll be like, man, I'm hungry, I want something to eat, and I'll be watching like one of your animated videos, like Something Terribly Offensive is my favorite.
Oh, nice.
And I'll have fucking McDonald's ad or something will pop up, and that's all I have to play for ads on YouTube is just constant food ads, just making me more hungry. I'm like, how do you know I'm hungry when I didn't even say nothing out loud? I'm just thinking I'm hungry.
Dude, hunger is a good one to capitalize on because, you know, we got to eat multiple times a day. So the chance that you're going to catch someone hungry is pretty good.
Oh, yeah. It's a great thing to capitalize on.
Do you feel like is that like the future of ads is like, you know, when they got all the access to your biometrics and stuff, they're just going to be like monitoring your state and just be like, this is what you need right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, if they're able to do the chip like they're planning to do, or some type of implant like that at all, then they can for sure like sense like when you're hungry or when you want to do something. You know, I'll bring up an ad for like hiking if you feel like you want to go outside or something like that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Is that good or is that bad?
Some people might say it's convenient and good, but I would put it in a gray area because it is more convenient. But like with that much going on, what could they do with that kind of technology inside of your body? It's just iffy.
Yeah, like maybe they could make you want things even if you don't want them.
Yeah.
That's like, seems like that's what ads are trying to do generally. They're trying to make you want things whether you want them or not.
Oh yeah, they want you to spend as much money as you can.
Yeah. All right, hey man, thank you for calling in.
Hey man, thank you for having me.
All right, have a good one. Oh damn. I had another call there, but I missed it. Yeah, like, what's the deal? Do we want ads that actually know what we want? Is that good? It's like, on one hand, yes, because you want to get things that you want, but never mind. I'm just going to move on.
Raven.
Raven?
Yes.
What's up, dude? We're talking ads today.
What's going on, man? So, yeah, I've been trying to get on the phone with you for a while. I love your content. Just want to say that, get it out of the way.
Thank you.
One thing I want to talk about with the ad. Okay, so you know the Temu ad. Shopping like a billionaire. Oh, yeah. Let's get it straight. So they said Temu for a while.
Wait, what? What is it? Team? What is this?
Yeah, Temu.
What is that?
You know, so it's like an ad based, like, it's an app. And
it's an app.
You can order stuff. And you can order stuff on this, and it's like Wish.com type deal.
Oh, okay.
But it's bled into so many people to where it's advertised itself. And it has a bunch of people, like, sending people these links to, like, help get them points in the mini games that they're playing.
What
and
mini games? What?
Yeah, I know, dude. Okay, so check this out. Temu, or Temu, that they've changed it to now. The app itself has all these little mini games on it. And if you do it to a certain extent, then you get, like, points added to getting, like, discounts off or whatever.
Oh, they're combining gaming with shopping.
Yeah. And my girlfriend plays this, right? And it's like a little fish feeding game that's in the app. And I'm like, you know, you're just feeding them your lost hopes and dreams. It's draining you away.
Yeah.
And you're gaining hope, trying to think that you're going to get these discounts.
How does this work? Like, what's the benefit? Is it just like, if we have you in the app feeding our fish, that means that you're going to buy stuff in the app at some point?
I think it's really all about because you get like these added bonuses if you share it with people and if they like
referral.
download the app. Yeah. And it just gets them going. And I've had random people that I'm friends with on Facebook like get a hold of me and like say, hey, can you like download the app and use my referral link? So
Could you feed my fish, bro?
Yeah, can you like feed the loss of my hopes and dreams to get free stuff?
All right, so you're not affected by this. It doesn't get to you. It doesn't get to your core. Just your girlfriend.
Oh man, I'll go to Busch Gardens or like any kind of event, and I'll look around at people enjoying things. It's like, you know, how you have reference your call-in show Conspiracies was one of my favorite because you're talking about groups. Me neither, man. I don't like groups. The group mentality, it turns on the individual and the growth for creative, like ingenuity, all because, you know, you want to be a part of this group, and then I see shit like Temu pop up and like people jumping on that bandwagon.
I never even heard of this. Temu, but it's Temu now, you said?
Yeah, now, okay, so the advertisement itself used to sing this little diddly, and it'd be like, Temu, Temu, I'm shopping like a billionaire. Oh yeah, I'm shopping like a billionaire. I'll get it straight when it comes to me. I'm shopping. And now it says, they changed the diddly. Instead of singing Temu, they say Temu, like they made a language error or something.
But it's the same diddly?
Yeah, the same diddly. They just changed the way that they said Temu to Temu. And this happened like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, what is going on? You know, I was comfortable enough ignoring it, but now I'm wondering.
Does this shake your faith in Temu? Like they can't even commit to how to pronounce their own name?
It shook my faith in, you know, the boardroom meetings of, you know, these people putting the advertisements together. It made me kind of wonder. It's like, who's running these situations?
Like they don't have a vision. They're just like, well, the research came back and people just seem to be calling this Temu, so I guess that's what we are now.
Yeah, and there's no real solidarity in what they're doing, and they're just kind of going off on a whim. Like, you know, the best I get out of advertisements are, you know, I play certain video games like Warframe, and then I'll be thinking, you know, your last caller, he's thinking about being hungry. All of a sudden, he'll see something for food pop up. Well, I'll be playing a video game, and then something for the video game pops up, and I'm like, hell yeah! I got saved from the madness of something I don't want to buy. And now I get to look at cool shit from something I'm doing.
So you're like appreciative when the ads are effectively targeting you.
Yeah. You know, it's like, I don't need to download it, but it's good to know that you want to press me to keep enjoying something that I'm already enjoying.
Yeah, at least they care enough to target you, right? Warframe, that's like is that free-to-play game?
It is free-to-play. I've been playing it since 2020. It's pretty neat. It's like a grind-based space ninja type game with a cool storyline. It's been keeping me going.
Does that have
here on and off?
So it's free to play, and it's like, when I think of that, it's like, you know, it's like you got to grind for longer if you want to get the same things you could get if you would pay some. But it doesn't have. Does it have ads in it?
No.
Would you be opposed to that? Like I haven't really. I don't know if that happens in the gaming world, but are there games that just like have ads in there?
Yes, there are. Well, it's mostly like Android type games. Warframe was bought out by Tencent recently, and you know Tencent.
That's like a big Chinese company.
Chinese company. You know, they like the in-game current. They like you buying stuff in game.
Right.
But seeing as how they've like continued with the game as the presence of you just grind out to get stuff and you don't have to buy with real world money. But buying stuff, the platinum is really only just to accelerate what you would have to wait for.
Right.
Because when you're building stuff, you know, you kind of have to wait. But like, yeah, in-game advertisements, that kind of has pressed me away from having any kind of little handheld game on my phone that would just keep me from, you know, I can't even download a game. on my phone anymore.
That's like something that's like only on mobile games, you're saying?
For them, yeah. I haven't seen any on console. I think the day they start doing that, there will be a gamer uprising.
Yeah? You think so? It's I already paid $300, $400 for the Switch. I don't know how much consoles cost. I haven't bought a console in a while, but it's like that. Is that the premium you pay to not watch ads?
Not have to deal with ads at all.
And something about like
you have to be a golden member of society in order to like enjoy the things truly. But then we're just gonna rack your brain trying to get you to waste more of your money and keep you down at a lower level. But you have the big bucks initially. You can spend all out and be the special snowflake with like the $300,000 PC computer and.
It seems like that's where it could go though, because like advertisements, the thing that advertisers want is just a captive audience. That's all they want. They want someone who is really looking at a screen and they want to look at it. And so video games are, huge for that. Like you're looking at a screen and you want to keep playing the game. So it seems like that's like an unconquered frontier.
Yeah. And gamers won't go for shit like that. So like with the handheld Android games or iPhone games that have the ads in them, and then they're talking about doing the metaverse and all of that. Surely they go far with that, and then you're gonna have a VR headset on. They're gonna love the screen time and just being able to advertise anything inevitably.
It sounds like with the mobile games, it's like those gamers are casual enough that they aren't part of the gamer uprising. Those are just normal people. They aren't gamers.
Yeah, no, they want little time wasters so that they can be kind of entertained in whatever they're doing in the moment.
But what about
Candy Crush or something?
What about those? There's like Game Pass now or something where it's kind of like you pay a monthly premium and you get access to a shit ton of games, like AAA games. So right now they're ad free, but like, doesn't it make sense that like eventually it would just be like, now you pay $10 a month. I don't know how much Game Pass costs. Now you pay some amount of dollars a month, but you got to watch ads during your game every 30 minutes.
Well, in some games, like on the handheld, I found a couple of games that you get stuff when you watch ads.
Oh, right.
And, I'll sit there, tap the video, and then just like, I'll flip the phone over. I was like, you can't grasp my attention.
That could be nice. It's like a nice little break.
Gives you enough time to reconsider what you're going to do next.
Yeah, go to the bathroom.
And you got a free little thing.
All right. Hey, dude, thanks for calling in.
You too, man. Hey, I appreciate the living hell out of you.
Thank you.
Don't stop what you're doing. I love you, man. And if anybody's annoying you, fuck the cunts. They're fucking loud. You tell them what for.
All right. Thank you, man.
You New Yorker bastard. Yeah, let the news have it. Love you. Bye.
All right. Bye. Nice.
Call from
David.
Hello.
Hello.
Who is this?
David.
David. What's up, David?
Hey. Not much. How's it going?
Good. We're talking about ads today. Generally ads, but also your individual ad profile. You got any ads that you're feel like are targeted to you?
Targeted ads. I guess tools.
Tools.
I get a lot of tool ads, mostly if I can put a finger on it.
Let me ask you this. Has an ad ever worked on you? Have you ever been on the internet and seen an ad and then bought the product? And don't be embarrassed if you have.
I don't think so. Just like a random ad, like on Facebook or Instagram or something.
It's never happened.
But I'll tell you what I do. I pay money. I'll pay money to remove ads.
Like in what way? On what service?
Well, the biggest one is YouTube.
Oh, you got YouTube Premium.
I've got YouTube Premium. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, you got YouTube Premium. There's add-ons and websites and apps you can do so you can get around that. But I don't know. I like it. I listen to YouTube enough to where it's worth it, where I can use the official YouTube app, and I listen to YouTube all day, like every day, like at work and after work.
You need it for
when I'm going to bed.
There are ways to block it on your phone, but I haven't actually looked those up. I just deal with ads on the YouTube app, but it is incredibly annoying.
I cannot stand the YouTube ads, especially for how much I listen.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I used to work at a spot where I didn't have reception, and so with YouTube Premium, I can download videos and watch them offline, which is awesome.
That's nice.
Yeah,
isn't it? It's like,
and then I also
go on. Sorry.
Oh yeah. I just I've also paid to remove ads on a couple apps as well.
Like what?
And it's usually when I've been like drinking for a little while and I'm just like, I don't even care. I just can't stand watching these ads. I just want to play the game, get upgraded. There's a stupid hotel game, and it's like upgrading your hotel, and I was like, yeah, fuck, I'll spend $10, and then I haven't played it since. It's been like months.
Damn. So they got you, dude.
So they got me. They did. With the ads, they throw the ads in your face every 5 seconds, and then you pay the $10 to remove the ads, but it's a shitty game, and I don't know. I've definitely been got, and this is just a public service announcement to not play shitty games. If you're gonna pay money, make sure it's a good game.
It's like the ads breaking up the game was what made it better. It's like having unfettered access to the game made you realize that it was not worth playing.
Yeah, you could say that. It was just not a great game in general.
Well, so so you never have been tricked by an ad, but you want to refuse the ads. It's like it's weird that with YouTube, it's like you have to pay to use the good version of YouTube. Like the version of YouTube that we remember as just being like, I'll click on a video and then I'll start watching it. It's funny because it's they replaced the buffering time. It used to be, you click on a YouTube video and then maybe you had to like pause it for 30 seconds to wait for it to buffer properly, and then you could start watching it. And it's like they figured out how to.
Jesus Christ!
They got rid of the buffering, but then they replaced it with an ad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but I can't. Yeah, I can't stand the ads. And then of course, like I'm listening to YouTube, or I'm watching YouTube, and then the video itself has an ad in it.
The sponsored, like
they'll be like
the YouTuber themselves.
Ad time. Yeah, the YouTuber themselves. They'll be like, Raid Shadow Legends or NordVPN or this godforsaken Chunk Monthly.
Yeah, exactly.
They just break up the content with the stupid ads.
Dude, I've been paying tens of thousands of dollars a month to sponsor YouTubers to talk about Chunk Monthly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be working, though. Like, it must be working, or else they wouldn't keep paying for it. Like the Raid Shadow Legends on the Guga food videos, we see that. They're all over the place. It's always like the same 4 or 5. Manscaped, Raid Shadow Legends, HelloFresh, NordVPN.
Yes. Yep.
So it must be working. Like, do you think people actually trust the YouTubers, or is it just like, why do people do it?
Why do the YouTubers put ads in their videos?
No, why do people buy the things that YouTubers talk about in their videos when it's so transparently an ad?
Oh man, I don't know. They're just most of us are kids. I think.
Oh yeah.
But then again, how are they buying? You know, maybe they're getting I guess they're just stealing their parents' credit cards, you know, and memorizing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm after with Chunk. Take your mommy's credit card, pay us $10 a month.
Absolutely.
No.
Get your physical media.
Hey, dude, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thank you for picking up.
Good hearing from you.
Always good talking to you.
Have a good one.
Yep. All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. The music, again, is from this album, Pure Midi, Volume 2. The link to this album is in the description of this video, the Bandcamp link. It's a free download. 100% free. So click on that link and download this album. I'm only going to be playing less than half of it on this stream. There's lots of cool stuff on this album. I like it a lot. And this Pure Midi Volume 1, which I'll probably play on a different stream at some point. And yeah, so if you like this music, check that out. And we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Okay, we're back. We're talking about ads today. You can call in 518-288-7938. Forgot the number for a second. 518-288-7938. I want to hear about your ads. What are you getting advertised? Is it what I'm getting advertised?
Call from
Southwest Exchange.
Whoa, is this an ad? Hello?
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, hey, dude. How's it going? Who's this?
Good. This is Matt.
Oh,
This is Matt from the chat. I made it on the show. I'm out of the chat. I made it out the chat.
You freaking did it, bro. What do you got to say? You're here.
Okay.
This is your moment.
All right, so this is something that happened to me about 7 years ago. I was eating some Cheetos, which was not a very common thing for me. Okay. I was sitting in front of my laptop, and I got an ad for Cheetos. I never looked up Cheetos on Google search. I wasn't talking about Cheetos. A lot of people say your phone will listen to you. I swear the only way that would have happened is that the camera saw me eating the Cheetos.
Dude, do you think that happens?
Yeah, I do think that happens. And also, I want to say that you mentioned how they're going to have like implants in us and they'll monitor if we're hungry. They'll advertise food. If we're sleepy, maybe they'll advertise My Pillow or Holiday Inn or something. Honestly, we have our phones pointed at our faces like half the day, right? So you can tell by a person's facial expressions if they're hungry, if they're irritated, if they're tired. You don't really have to implant anything in somebody to tell basic human emotions.
So you feel like we're already at that point?
Pretty much, yeah. And I really do think, this is something else. I've seen pictures from like, who's that? Mark Zuckerberg's house. Bezos, all these guys, if you can look these up, there are pictures from their homes and their businesses. They cover the cameras on their electronics.
Oh, and they would know.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that's how do you feel about that? Is that an intrusive measure, or is that good? Is that gonna, you want to get those? You want the ads to read your face?
Well, I don't think it really matters so much how I feel. I think people should be able to opt in or out.
Isn't that the weird thing? Is like everybody's got a story about how they've been targeted by ads in a way that they don't fully understand. But it's like, is that just in the terms of agreement of everything now that we don't, the terms of service, we don't read it, but it's just like, hey, oh, by the way, we get to look at you 24/7 and that's all fine. That's just part of ads.
Some things do ask. I'm asked by some of my apps if they can access the microphone, can they access the camera?
And you think when you're doing that, it's like, oh, well, it's not going to work. The app's not going to work properly if I say deny, so I just have to say allow.
Well, you think about Snapchat. How's that going to work if you deny them to use your camera?
Right.
I mean, it's pointless.
Dude.
Well, hey, man, keep up the good work, and thank you. I'm going to lower my head and get back to the chat.
All right, hey, thanks for calling in.
And shame. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, it is weird. Like, we probably don't fully understand the depths that corporations go to advertise to us, even at this point. Because we all seem to, like, believe offhandedly that our phones are listening to us all the time. They could be watching us all the time, and I guess we just, that's okay.
Call
that's fine.
Thomas.
Thomas.
Yo,
we're talking ads today. What kind of ads are you getting targeted to you?
Well, so I've been listening to the show, and I went through my Instagram to kind of get a refresher, because I feel like that's the main place that I see ads. Like the previous guy, I also caved and got YouTube Premium because they get in your way. Like the ad blocker stopped working on YouTube, and now they'll just play 2 back to back. But anyways, the main ads that I get are like the ones that I just saw is like I get a lot of like learn Adobe Illustrator or like take this After Effects motion graphics course.
Oh yeah.
Like Adobe tutorial shit. And then I just saw a really dumb one that was like, this is Brick. It's like a phone but without any apps or buttons on it.
Oh, nice.
It's called Brick. And I guess it's to like not spend as much time on your phone, which I found very funny that that's like a targeted ad on my phone that I'd have to see while like being a dumb consumer on my phone.
That makes so much sense though. It's like this guy's on his phone. What he wants more than anything is to be off his phone.
Well, I'm also wondering, are they like, this guy does talk to my girlfriend and to my friends about like, God, you know, I'm spending so much time on Twitter, I fucking hate it. And then like that pings their fucking little search engine and they're like, well, he's a potential for Brick.
Dude, so what do you think? I mean, this is something I'm trying to get at here is like everybody has this sort of paranoia that they're being listened to all the time. What do you think is the actual like capabilities of technology at this point? Not even in the future, but right now, just like, are they analyzing your conversations or are they just picking up keywords? What do you think happens?
I think they are analyzing conversations because I remember last year, maybe it was 2 years ago actually, I was with a friend of mine and we were talking about drones because he just got like a DJI drone. And it like, you know, like a fucking drone, like camera drone, like people use it for YouTube videos and shit.
Oh yeah.
So he just got one of those, and I have zero interest in like those drones. But he was telling me about his, and I've never like Googled one. I've never looked one up, never any of that. But the next day I look at my phone and I've got a DJI drone off of that one conversation on some ad.
Like after he's talking to you about it in real life, but near your devices.
In real life, but near our devices.
What do you think? Like, is that invasive?
Fuck yeah, it's invasive. Gotta ask that. Of course it is. The fuck? I don't want people listening in on my fucking conversations, much less people that are trying to take my money away.
Is that like? But did we agree to that at some point? Is that?
Listen, I'm sure we did, but like, you know, in the sense of like, you know, you're being presented with a 1,000-page book of legalese, and of course I'm not going to read it. I want to keep using my iPhone, so I click yeah.
Do you think like, because I get all these ads on Instagram, and they're all like, you know, they're like people talking in podcasts, or it's just like a person talking into their phone. Do you think the future of ads is like just little snippets of these candid conversations? Just like, listen to these random people, like they're talking about how much they love this service. Like, do you think that would be allowed at some point where it's just like, yeah, we record every conversation you have and we can use it for our ads. That's fine.
I wonder if like that could be a thing, or even if they'll like try to find some loophole with it where it's like, this isn't your voices. We did clip this conversation from you, but this is AI regenerated voices. So it's like,
it's an AI reenactment.
Ran it through a computer. Yeah, exactly. So like, these are real people reproduced by AI, like on the little asterisk. So just to avoid it, because I feel like some insidious things are coming. I was just playing Elden Ring, and I was thinking like, you know, during the loading screen on video games, I was like, damn, that's like prime real estate for fucking ads.
Yeah, really.
Like, you know, when shit's loading up, why not put stuff there? And with all the fucking like, do you hear about the bazillion people that got fired from like the video games industry? It's like, you know, if these things aren't bringing in money, they got to get those ads going.
Right, and they could do, you know, the thing. It seems like the play is, you know, make things free to access, and then it's like it lowers the barrier of entry to getting you interested and involved, and then once you're in there, then inserting all the ads inside something. Like they do that with streaming and stuff. It seems like video games, that's the great untapped market. It's like, rather than paying $60 for a video game, you get it for free, but you just have to watch ads every time it loads.
Every time it loads, and there's tons of loading screens on these like big games, you know. instead of a cool little graphic that's like nice and is a part of the aesthetic of the overall game.
All right, but what about this, though?
People are going to have to compromise. Okay.
What about this? Extremely targeted ads where, right now all the ads we see are, it seems like either big corporations or like really shady startups and stuff like that. But what if ads could be so targeted that itty bitty people could be sending out ads to exactly who needs to see them? Like, you've got a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So what if you could pay a not very pricey fee and you would be assured that your channel will be shown to people, like, 90% of the people who are shown that are going to be so interested in it based on their, perfectly calibrated ad profile. Would you buy into that?
Are you soft selling me to advertise? Are you trying to get me to pay you to advertise on the call-in show or something?
I have a new service that I'm working on.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, there's something there. It's just like, people, advertising is a thing that needs to exist, and it is useful for companies that use it, but it's also, it's like we feel like we're being like accosted by ads because they're just these things that we don't want. But what if every ad you saw was something that was like actually interesting to you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like how much of your, I guess, I don't know, what would you even call it, like digital persona are you willing to give up? Like on some level, I don't want to be fucking have them know my littlest, bittiest interests. I want to keep that shit to myself. And I don't want like an algorithm to be trying to figure out what I want. It's like a lot of the stuff that I buy or get, it's because like a friend of mine told me it was cool. Right. So I don't want to put that up to like, I don't know. It like, if you tell me something's cool, and you're not the one making the buck off of it, right?
Right.
So it's like, I don't want the people that are trying to like up in my shit telling me what to buy. It's like they're incentivized to like, I don't know, lie, take advantage, manipulate their words, right? Like,
right.
So, yeah, I think it's a bad thing. Like in every sort of stretch, like the more data we give up, it's bad. It's all bad.
You don't think there's some sort of, there's
I
like
actually have a,
oh yeah, go on.
Okay. So speaking of it being bad, Christmas is coming up.
Oh yeah.
And I have bought gifts for like everybody that I need to, like my family and shit, except for my girlfriend, and I don't know what to get her. And I realize while listening to the show, I need to like be the fucking sleazy ad data guy and try to like digital profile my girlfriend to like figure out what the fuck she wants, because I can't figure it out. And I'm like, do I steal her phone, look through her fucking targeted ads, and just pick one at random? It's like, yeah, that'll do.
That's a good thought, though. Is like if you could, pay just like $5 or something to access someone's digital ad profile, and then you'd know exactly what they're searching. You'd be like, oh yeah, that's what they want. These are the keywords that come up in their online.
5 times, just looked at it. Yeah.
All right, hey, Thomas, thanks for calling in.
Yes, sir.
All right, have a good one. Bye.
You too.
Is it possible? Is there some sort of? I feel like I'm going to be on the wrong side of history with it here, but is there an ethical ad model?
Call from
what is ethical?
Dracula.
Dracula?
It is I, Dracula.
Oh my God, Legato! It's been so long.
No, I am Dracula.
All right, fine. What kind of ads do you get, Dracula?
Well, they're always trying to sell me new camisoles for my vest.
New what? You're very quiet right now.
Like ladies wear. I am a fancy man, Count Dracula. I'll kill you.
Do I have to? What sort of phone does Dracula have? Is this, or what device? Where are you getting ads beamed in? Do they have those in Transylvania?
Yeah.
It sucks. They put a 5G tower outside my castle.
Oh shit!
And it's an eyesore for real.
They don't do that thing. I've noticed this with the 5G towers. They'll sometimes put like fake greenery over them to try to make them look like weird trees. They do that for you?
They didn't do it here. They just was ugly castle, ugly tower. There you go, bam. And I'm pissed about it, and I'm gonna kill somebody. You know I'm Dracula, right? I can bite him in the neck.
But that doesn't kill him. That just makes him into a Dracula.
No. If you hit their the right artery, they will die.
Oh, God damn. So you're a murderer?
I'm Dracula, bitch.
God damn.
I don't give a shit about any of the shit. I've been flipping bricks before you were a type 1 civilization, motherfucker.
So you don't, I mean, so then you've seen it all. You've seen it from the beginning of ads to now. What do you think? Like, things trending in the right direction for you, Dracula, or you don't like where things are going?
Oh, it's always good for me. Bitches try to stop me, I kill them like they're fucking haters right then and there.
So it's working.
Yep. Like, I can just look at somebody and they freeze. And I can mess with them and touch them wherever I want.
Do you feel like with you, because you're Dracula and you live in a castle in Transylvania, and like at this point, people are kind of wise, they're hip to the Dracula scheme, is it harder to draw people into the castle? Do you need to send out advertisements to be like, here's an Airbnb, fresh Transylvanian, you get a couple of windows and a nice bed? Like, do you need to bring people in, or you just go out and find them?
No, they come to me. I am him. I am the Dracula. People want it. They come in here.
You could like have a con where you're at. People could cosplay.
Yeah. I had one chick come over and she was like, and I said, okay, kill her. It's a hard life being Dracula. You couldn't handle it.
No, I don't think so. How often do you have to feed?
Whenever the fuck I feel like, man. Dude, I'm rolling on Percocets if I can turn.
Oh my God.
And mother.
Is that
I don't
prescription?
give a shit about any of this shit.
Who's your hookup, dude?
Dude, you don't ask those questions unless you want to get killed.
God damn.
I'm nice with it. It was me. I built the empires. I seen the Magna Carta. I pushed a camel through the eye of a needle.
Oh my God, wow. You're like the guy.
I crossed the Sahara with a joint and a fifth of Henny, and I didn't even give a shit.
So this stuff doesn't really affect you at all. Like you're beyond advertisements. They can't possibly get into your brain. You've been around the block.
Advertisements don't mean nothing to me, man. I'm Dracula. But, okay, I'm going to break character because I actually have a really cool story about advertisements. This is Legato, by the way. Hey, everybody.
This is Dracula's prisoner, Legato.
Yeah, nobody could have ever guessed it was Legato all along. Okay. But here's what happened to me. I have a very specific kind of guitar, right? It's shaped a certain way. It's not a Stratocaster. It's a Pacifica. It's fat and it looks a little different than a Stratocaster, right?
Okay.
And my specific Pacifica only has one pickup and a certain custom bridge. And I swear to God, an advertiser on Facebook who never, and I never posted a picture of this guitar, by the way. An advertiser on Facebook was trying to sell me a lamp that looked exactly like my guitar.
A lamp?
Yeah, like a neon lamp. But it wasn't in the shape of a Stratocaster like most guitars are. It was mine. and it had that weird bridge on it. And I was like, what the fuck?
What do you think happened? Is it video? Are they looking at you? Where's it come from?
I don't even fucking know. But it's like, that's a very specific body shape and a very specific bridge that lights up. So weird that I got that.
Did it make you happy to see that? Did you feel like you were... Oh, no.
No. I was like, how the fuck do they know what my guitar looks like?
So you don't want that. You don't want to be targeted by ads in that way.
Yeah, I don't. But I am. Dude, you ever heard that chick whose dad found out she was pregnant because of advertisements sent to their house?
No. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it happened. It was something like almost 5 years ago, maybe 7. Kmart did it.
Kmart?
Like they were sending her phone and her house like coupons for like pregnancy shit.
They knew she was pregnant before she was pregnant?
No, they knew she was pregnant and keeping it from her dad. And her dad found out because she was getting a bunch of pregnancy advertisements that she didn't sign up for.
Oh. So ads can dig deep and ruin your life.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't really ruined, but it can expose a lot of stuff.
You ever get an ad that felt like you were being exposed? I mean, your guitar ad, that's something, that's one thing, but like, you ever get an ad that's like, I can't even disclose what this ad said because this gives away my deep dark secret?
Nothing like that, but I bet they could. If they know how my guitar is shaped and like
they could know how some other things are shaped.
Yeah, they can find out so much shit on me. It's fucking nuts.
All right, well, hey, Legato, thanks for calling in and say thank you to
man.
Dracula. Also, oh yeah. Also, goodbye.
Bye.
Okay. That was Legato from Dracula's Castle. Dracula still has a castle, dude. I mean, I guess it makes sense. He bought that shit a long time ago. I wonder what the property values are like. Could you Airbnb in Dracula's Castle? That's fun. Airbnb, get a room in Dracula's Castle. He's like a kind host. But there's a couple amenities you probably should have read into. All right, anyway, we're going to take a break here. The music from the stream, again, is from Pure Midi Volume 2. There's a link to the album on Bandcamp in the description of this video. And it's a free album. So if you like the music from the stream, go click on that link and download this album for free. We're going to be back in a couple minutes talking about ads. Yeah. Okay, we are back. Ooh. We're talking ads today. Advertisements. Call in 518-288-7938. 518-288-7938. That's the call-in number. Call that number. Try to get in. It's just a Google Voice number, so you know they kind of they come in. Google just picks one for me. There's not like a person here who's determining who to call in, so you can be whoever you want. Who's
Call
someone?
Cyrus.
Cyrus.
Actually made it through. Wow.
What's up, dude?
Doing well. How about you?
Good, good. We're talking about ads today. I'm trying to figure out what people are getting advertised to them, because I only get to access what's advertised to me. So what are you getting ads for?
Well, it's not so much what I've been advertised to. Have you heard of targeted proximity in-store marketing?
No.
Kind of a sort of a dark direction where advertising is heading.
What on earth is that?
Say you go into like your whatever grocery store you prefer.
Yeah.
You're standing next to, a product that you may or may not buy. And you have like the store's loyalty app or whatever. And all of a sudden you get a coupon for the thing you're standing right next to.
That sounds great.
Some stores will have these. They'll have like these little Bluetooth beacons that ping your phone. And sense where you are within the store and send you advertisements or coupons for the products that you're standing close to.
Right, because they know where everything's stocked. So it doesn't need to be the item itself. It's the store is giving the information.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
Not bad per se, just kind of eerie.
Oh, yeah.
That your emotions are being tracked and preferences are being tracked.
Yeah, but like, I mean, if you're going to get coupons for anything, it might as well be the things that you want, right?
I suppose so.
It's like the weird thing with ads I can't figure out. It's like we're not headed towards a future without ads. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So does that mean that the future that we're headed towards is just like ads that you actually want to see?
I mean, I guess so. As companies have to get more creative in how they target their intended demographics.
That could be good, right?
It could be.
What were you getting ads for? What were you getting coupons for? What were you milling around in the store that your phone was like, yeah, let's fucking put the bite on this guy?
Well, the thing that sort of piqued my interest in this was that I would get ads for something not necessarily in store. I would get like times after I had left. Things I had passed. So maybe it detected I'd been standing in the soda aisle and I lingered there for maybe 30 seconds. A couple days later, I'll get an ad for a product that I was standing close to but didn't buy.
I could see that feeling insidious of like ads. One of the purposes of ads is just like to make you recognize a product. And so it's sort of like, hey, did you know you were grocery shopping and you walked past this type of soda? You've never had it before, but dude, this soda is so fucking good. You should try it next time you go in there.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm trying to figure out like, I'm thinking like in the future you got your glasses. Everyone's got glasses. And so at some point you're going to have your AR enabled glasses where it's just like, it's not goggles you got to put on. It's not like a VR headset. It's just your normal glasses that you need to see. But then it's got like this, overlay, and everything that's in there is like, it's like a video game where it's like you could buy this and you get X points, and it like here's the nutritional data. It's like that's gonna feed your body in the right way, and also you're gonna get super points, double, triple points today for buying it. Like I feel like that's the goal, is to turn life into a video game where it's like everything you get, you're trying to min-max for the most amount of points.
I hope it doesn't go in that direction, but I can definitely see it going there.
That sounds fun to me.
I don't know. It's shopping for necessities, turning everything into a game.
What if you turned, your whole life into a game? And you could, it's there's so much guesswork you gotta do in real life where it's like, I guess this is what I need. I guess this will nourish me. But what if you had the actual numbers, the stats? And be like, this is going to raise my strength +3.
I suppose if you had a guarantee like that, that wouldn't be bad.
It could have instructions for your whole daily routine. It'd be like, yeah, buy this, and then you got to buy this and do these activities to maximize the value of this that you bought. Do you think is that like, is it wrong to give people that much direction in the minutia of their daily life, just their everyday choices?
Wrong? I wouldn't say it's wrong. I wouldn't welcome it personally. I wouldn't like this little sort of digital imp on my shoulder constantly tapping me saying, hey, you want that?
Do you think there's something that is what's the wrongness that you feel about that? Like if you had some sort of super AI god that was just in your vision all day, giving you little hints, little tips and tricks on how to maximize your daily life. And it does involve buying lots of things, but it also gives you helpful hints on how to maximize them. What do you think is the evil part of that?
Well, what sort of tips would it be given?
The tips would be like, buy this and then utilize it in this way. It's sort of like assuming that you don't know what to do on a normal day-to-day routine. It's like kind of giving you the routine. Just being like, it's like the objective line in video games where it's like, you don't actually know where to go. We're just going to tell you where to go. What if that happened in everyday life?
I would say technology is immoral. But it seems like something that's really easy for someone to exploit, and companies have every incentive to exploit that.
So you say if that sort of thing existed, it wouldn't be for the greater good or even for the good of the individual. It would just be for making money. I
think it's very easy to... No, I don't think it would serve the common good at all. That level of sort of micromanaging and getting into the nitty-gritty and the minutia of everybody's lives.
But then do you ever go to fucking Walmart and you just see everyone there is so fat and gross, and it's just like these people clearly can't manage their lives themselves. Do you ever think maybe somebody should just be telling them what to do all the time? Maybe that would help?
Well, I think the remedy for that would be promoting good behavior. Not necessarily coercing it.
How would you promote it? If you were in charge of everything, how would you promote?
Well, I mean, the thing is, it is promoted. I mean, people still make bad choices even with good information.
It definitely feels like at this point, good behavior isn't really promoted. It's sort of like the behavior that's promoted is how can you pay money to get instant gratification?
As opposed to those same channels, you can still promote virtue and better habits.
What if that could happen? What if in the future it's like you just download your little AI assistant and you get to choose, do I want an AI assistant that's going to be the devil on my shoulder or the angel on my shoulder? Am I going to download the guy that's giving me everything that I want all the time? He knows exactly what I want and he's going to just present it to me, and it's the cheapest price he can find, or am I going to download the angel on my shoulder that's going to be like, this is what you actually need, this is what's good for you? Does that sound appealing at all, or is that just like a scary tech future where people are not in charge of themselves?
Not really, because I think it's important to retain that agency, to be able to make good or bad decisions on your own.
Well, you feel like that as a guy, it seems like you're a guy who likes to make decisions for himself. But what about those people at Walmart, dude? Do they need somebody? Do they need an AI assistant that's going to just give them better direction? Because you can see a person who's like, you see like, it's like a fat family. And it's like, they got like a 10-year-old that's as fat as, it's like 300 pounds. And it's like, when I see that, I'm like, God, those people need a different influencer to influence
Perhaps
their life.
Need a good friend to tell them that, like, hey, what you're doing is unhealthy.
Yeah. Does it matter if that voice is artificial?
Would it matter? I think it would. There's something to be said for genuinely caring about somebody else enough to sort of steer them along the right path. Maybe give them some tough love too.
Yeah.
Sort of. Oh.
No, sorry. Go on.
What was that?
Go on.
Oh, so sort of commodifying good behavior. That sort of cheapens it as well.
Yeah, is that like the Chinese thing with the social credit score? We haven't heard about that lately, but that was the whole thing a few years ago. Is like the idea that like you would have some sort of like loyalty program within your own country that would be like it encourages you to be a good person, and then you get access to greater services.
I think that's an example of a negative use of the sort of overbearing technological monitoring and targeted advertising. Because that way you can steer behavior you can coerce behavior in a negative direction.
Mm-hmm.
As they do in China, with removing travel privileges and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's always talking about it in a removing rights that you think you have sort of sense. But in the more capitalist sense, what if it was just like, like we don't have government health care in America, really. There is for certain sectors of people. But like, what if it was just like, Google and Apple and Facebook all just gang together, and they were like, all of our ads now are going to be focused on making people healthy so that we can have health care for everybody. Does that seem like a greater good sort of thing, or does that seem like overreach?
That'd be overreach. I would question their motives. Because at the end of the day, they are businesses.
Mm. What's like...
They wouldn't do something if it wasn't really in their self-interest.
Right. So what's like... Have you ever got an ad that you liked? An ad that you were glad that you were targeted?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah?
Got a targeted ad on Facebook once for a little back roller.
Mm. And you got it?
Like a little, give it a shot because, working long hours, your back starts to get achy, and it's good to come home and just use that thing, and it takes care of the back pain.
So there is some sort of thing there where it's like, we don't like ads because we don't want to see them, because they're so often things that we don't want. But what if in this future where we could just imagine every ad you see was something that you actually really wanted? Like, would you still think that was something insidious, where it's like I'm being targeted, or would you be grateful that you're getting ads for things that you want?
Well, if you could guarantee that there was nothing insidious behind it, I wouldn't see anything wrong.
The insidious thing would just be
that sort of targeted approach.
Just be that, like, you know, the people who are advertising want you to buy it.
Inherently, no. I don't think that would be a bad thing per se.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's just like what I think about is like, I think ads will become more and more present in our lives. Like they're already more present than ever. And I think it has to do with, you know, being more engaged with screens and stuff. Is like our attention is focused on things that, on devices that can deliver us ads very effectively, but we don't get very effective ads at this point. But that seems like the problem that the corporations are trying to solve. Like they want to figure it out desperately. Like the whole point of showing ads to people is to get them to buy things. So if you could get them to show ads to people who are only going to buy the things that they show them to, that would be like peak efficiency.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be ideal.
Yeah. So just the more information we can hand over to corporations and stuff, the better ads we would get.
But I think the question you have to ask is it worth handing over all that information for the sake of better ads?
Yeah. What do you think?
I tend to think no, because you'd have to assume the goodwill of the people using that information. And I wouldn't say I'm pessimistic, but generally, I don't think it would be used for good reasons.
So, but what do you mean by that specifically? Is it like...
Well, in general, I believe more in keeping as much data of much personal data personal as possible. Without disseminating your own personal information. I think data is precious.
But why? Why specifically would you think? I mean, and I'm not like disagreeing with you. I'm just for the sake of conversation. What is it about having personal information, keeping it personal? Like, if you could give over all your personal information and be given ads that were perfectly tailored to you, it would feel wrong to me because it's like, you know, I want to keep things private, but if that information was just being used for ads, I don't know, is the question there like whether it's just used for ads or whether it's like being saved into a database to be accessed later by third parties, or like what is it specifically that makes you uncomfortable about having a lot of personal information like given to third parties?
Well, one advertiser could have good intentions. I mean, once that information is out there, it's difficult to scrub something from the internet. So while, you know, I wouldn't assume that every single, you know, corporate entity or advertiser out there has bad intentions, because now, you know, they have a product they want to sell. But the fact that the information is out there, I think it's important to guard because of who can get their hands on it. Because, you know, advertisers do sell information, and that can get in the hands of governments. You know, not to put the tinfoil hat on, but I would rather have control over who has my data than not.
So does it come down to that though? Is that the thing? Is government the sort of the sticking point here, where it's like I might be okay with having my information out there strictly for advertising purposes, but then I'm uncomfortable with that data being accessible by, you know, like the fucking FBI at any given point?
I mean, that's a concern too. That's certainly possible.
All right, well, hey, man, thank you for calling in.
You're very welcome. Thanks for chatting.
Good for talking to you. Hey, mate. Good for talking to you? That's a new one. It's good for talking to you. I don't know, so I'm trying to figure this out. It's like, what is the problem, really, with having all your information out there? Like, I don't want it to be out there. But I can't fully express why.
Kyle.
Kyle.
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Talking about ads today. Ad profiles, targeted ads. What sort of ads have you been seeing lately?
Well, that's good because I'm calling about ads. I actually, before I get to that, I got a tip from a guy who called like 3 callers ago. He was wondering what to buy for someone, and the tip that I learned, because modern problems require modern solutions, is if you really don't know what to buy for someone, just go and make a new Amazon account and add all the shit they like to cart. And then, mess around a little bit, click on related stuff. And sure enough, in no time at all, you're going to have an algorithm curated list of other things they might like.
Have you done this?
Hijack that system.
Have you personally tried this system?
Yeah, I did it for a family member once, and they actually really liked it. So I guess it works.
So how'd it work? What did you put in there in the cart, and what did they get as a result of that?
Well, it was a sibling, and she wanted clothes, so I just added the clothes that she liked, and then it, spat out a bunch of suggestions. Like, you might also like, one of those sections down there.
So do you think, like, the modern algorithms are already working? They already do their jobs?
I don't know if it's time-gated or anything, but presumably if you add enough items, it gets a pretty good idea of what your tastes are, even if you're inputting someone else's tastes.
Does it require somebody who maybe you think in your mind has more basic tastes, or do you think you personally are also part of this? The algorithm knows what you want.
Well, I mean, it would. A lot of those advertisers have tracking stuff in the cookies and on your computer. For this to actually work, you'd probably need to do it on a new device, or maybe a new internet browser in private mode so it doesn't have any of the tracking cookies already attached to you.
Right.
Because, every once in a while you log into someone's account and you fuck up their recommendations on Netflix or something.
Right. Well, so is this a good trend then for advertisements, that they're more directed, more targeted, or what do you feel about that?
I don't know, but it is pretty convenient for me. I guess I'm selling somebody else's data in exchange for an easier gift-giving process.
Like if someone could just make a gift profile.
That would be interesting.
And you could buy that?
Yeah, there you go. But I think you have to be a big company in order to buy those big data sets. I don't think you can query hey, I need to know what to get Jim down the street. Let's get all of his Facebook ad info.
Yeah, but what if
he needs a new lawnmower?
But what if a big company offered that as a service? Just be like, don't know what to get for Christmas for this person? Just buy you can rent their ad profile for a month, $5, and then you can see what they're interested in, and you can just buy it for them.
Sounds a little invasive, a little dystopian, but I'd use it. That's probably how we got here. People being like, I'd use it.
So is that possible, do you think? If that happened in the future, you wouldn't be against it. You'd use it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep up with the Joneses. My gift-giving game would become weak if everyone else is using it.
Right, yeah, they're all locked in to exactly the keywords that mean the most to the person. That could be nice, and you could even automate it. You could just buy it as a yearly subscription, and then you're presented with 5 different gifts. You could get these 5 different things, and you just pick one, and you just click buy, and then bada bing, bada boom, done. It's you put in their birthday, you got Christmas, whatever the other gift giving holidays are, and then it's just it just sends you an email when it's near enough there, and then you're like, all right, I'll buy this one.
You know what? Fuck it. We're not thinking grand enough. I only buy these people gifts out of obligation anyways. I don't want to see them or think about them. give me a service so that it'll deliver it to their door and buy it for me anyway.
You just got to click the confirm button. You'd be like, yeah, we figured out that this is the optimal gift. Do you confirm that we pay for this with your card?
Just a little confirmation, like send gifts for Christmas. You're done.
That sounds, I mean,
live in your...
I don't want to sound like a
great.
guy who's, you know, freaking just part of the capitalist system, but that sounds great.
I mean, I could just live in my cold pod, eating my bugs, and never have to talk to anyone again.
Be perfect. What do you think is there an actual, what if you could think of like what would be the actual problem with that? What would you say it is?
The actual problem with that is shockingly a optimistic thing in that I don't think you have that level of accuracy for grabbing a specific person. I have worked with sensitive data and databases before, and a lot of the time it's kind of anonymous where people just become a literal number and it has a bunch of things associated with them. So you probably couldn't look up a specific person. You know, people are pretty basic sometimes and they fit into a bunch of common archetypes, but you'd probably never be able to look up someone specifically to get a perfect gift for them.
So you said that you work in this then. Do you understand how this works then? I'm completely from the outside here, so I don't really have an actual understanding of how it works. But everyone talks about how they're getting, you know, ads targeted based on like, you know, their phone's listening to them or something. So I always think of it as like everyone's got an individual profile. But do you know how that actually works?
When I said the sensitive data, I didn't mean in advertising specifically, though it did collect stuff about them for reasons. I guess I can't really say the specific reason because it would probably be a company secret.
Okay.
But it's not anything spooky or anything. It's actually pretty helpful. Certainly less bad than ads. But as far as, let's see, how closely would that relate to ads? Probably pretty closely, because I mean, they do collect, there is an individual profile, but like I said, they typically make it anonymous, like it's a number, right? If you're looking at something like, it just adds a bunch of interests, typically. Just like a little bunch of flags. Because, how about this? You ever play the game 20 Questions?
Yes.
Okay, well, if you can come up with pretty much any object in the goddamn world with only 20 questions, how many little boxes, little tags can they apply to your profile to get a pretty good idea of who you are? Imagine 100 questions. Do they like fast food? Do they like pop culture? Do they like Star Wars specifically? And from that, you can just analyze what everybody with a similar profile, with a similar answer to all 100 questions has also bought. And then they're just like, oh, well, you know, 33% of people who liked Cheetos and Dracula and Star Wars bought this box set of trading cards. Let's recommend it to everybody who has those options set as well. And that's why it seems so targeted. I'm sorry to say, but it's because you're basic. We're all pretty basic.
So it's a lot less targeted than we think, in your opinion.
Yes. Yep. It's like, oh, you clicked on this one type of shampoo like 3 days ago on an ad or something, or on Facebook, and their metrics say 25% of the people who bought this shampoo also bought this, you know, it could be a random item, but more often it's somewhat bathroom related. Also bought this brand of toilet paper. Just recommend it to everybody who clicked that ad just in case. And most of the time it's not too accurate, but every once in a while they really get your number and it's uncanny.
Yeah, so then in your mind, it's like maybe the well, I won't say in your mind. That's if the problem with targeted advertisement at this point was that they aren't actually targeted enough. Would it seem better in the future if we were able to more specifically target people and give them ads that they more specifically want?
I don't know, because I mean, my gut would say no, but I mean, there's just so much shit. There's just so much shit. It takes so much energy to like filter through it all. And you could argue that, you know, advertising is a great way to like expose you to some random interest you might not know you had because you're similar to like 10,000 other people in the country who have similar interests. They're like, oh, they liked it. This guy might too. And they'd probably be right. But at the same time, of course, that opens it up to abuse. Like you got some corporation being like, well, we don't like this competitor. Let's never give any ads for it. And so, you know, you're kind of denied something that would make you extremely happy because somebody's fiddling with it.
Okay, so there might be a discrepancy then in the playing field of like in the future you could have a very specific ad profile, but then that data could be misused by larger corporations to keep you away from things that you're more interested in that are not as that don't have as much market share.
Sure. And you know what? Remove ill intent from it entirely if you want. Some people have a better product, but they don't have enough money to advertise it yet. And if they don't get into that pipeline, well, it might starve them out before they hit it big.
All right. Thank you for calling in, dude.
No problem.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
There's something. We haven't gotten there yet. There's something in here about ads, dude. What is good? What is good and bad about ads? Because we have to have ads, right? Right? We live in this sort of world where we have to buy things. And so is there a way to do this that is good? And does it require giving more of your information over to people to create ad profiles, to get a more targeted result so that smaller companies can target you more effectively than just like having a large company that sends ads to everyone? Is that a good thing? Is that bad? I have not thought about this enough to have a real opinion. But there's something odd about this where it's like, it seems like the more information you give, the better ads you would get. But there is clearly a thing holding us back. It's like we don't want to be known by advertisers. I don't want to be known. But what's the real downside? I don't know. We'll try to figure it out. We're going to take a quick break here. We're going back to music from Pure Midi Volume 2. If you like the music in the stream, click on the description of this video, and you will get a link to the Bandcamp album that I'm playing all this from. It's a free album, so if you like any of this music, click on that link and download this album. It's totally free. We'll be back in just a few minutes. More talk about ads. Okay. This is the Colin Show. Oh my God.
Call from.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
It's Dave. I forgot to say my name. I'm sorry.
Dave?
Yeah. How you going?
How's it going, Dave?
That's good. I'm glad I got through.
Yeah, dude. This is an international
All right,
call.
advertisements, eh?
Yeah. So
that's it. Coming to you across the ocean.
yeah, what kind of ads
should
are
be
you
working right now?
What kind of ads are you getting, dude?
I get lots of ads. I get ads for this Chinese app called Temu.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you seen these apps?
We heard
And
about
Wish?
that at the beginning. It was Temu, and then it was Temu.
Temu, that's probably the same one. But I wanted to say, I think you're onto something about when you're talking about. I think the reason why people feel that advertising is bad is because it's not good. It's not accurate.
Right.
And I feel like if it was accurate, that we'd feel a little less annoyed with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that we get annoying ads for things that we don't actually want.
Mm-hmm.
98% of the time.
Yeah.
I think that's the issue. I think advertising itself isn't actually insidious by nature. And people probably want to tie that into the fact that it's about buying stuff, but if it's helping you improve your life in some way, then is it really a bad thing?
Like, people have the, even when it is something that's targeted towards you, there is that nasty feeling always, like I'm being sold something, and so it's like, you can't trust it. There's no any kind of implicit trust, because it's just like, at the end of the day, what this ad wants me to do is to buy their thing, and I don't feel personally like it's something that's for me. But if you got ads all the time, they're just like, oh, that is something I want. Maybe people would feel differently about ads.
Have you ever bought something that you were advertised on your phone or on the computer?
Not really that I can remember. What about you?
I feel like I can't remember this. This is interesting, right? It's like I know I have, but I can't remember this once or twice, right? But I can't remember the specific product, so it mustn't have been particularly good.
There's like a
But
feeling, I think,
remember-
of not wanting to be tricked by ads. So it's like, kind of the idea of like you bought something that you were advertised. It you can't help but feel like they got me.
Yeah. I bought it in spite of wanting it. I think have you ever, or have you heard of this phenomena where we have 3 or 4 streaming apps to stream content, but it still feels like I spend a lot of time switching between them, not able to find something to watch?
Streaming like Netflix,
like videos
that sort of
or movies, or like Netflix or Prime or Paramount. There's so many of them now, but it still feels like I have less things to watch. I can't decide on something to watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that isn't because there's nothing out there that I would enjoy spending time watching. It's that the algorithms, the way that the content is filtered and presented to me is unrefined. And I think we've kind of been building upon these old ad tendencies to kind of generalize people into these buckets. And I think if we had more data, if we actually did, just flick the switch and go, I don't care about my personal privacy anymore, those sorts of problems would go away. You wouldn't actually need 5 streaming apps. One would do. because you couldn't watch all the content on Netflix in your entire lifetime, right? Or it would take a long time to do that. But if they were only feeding you 3 things, this is what you want to watch tonight, and it was correct. It's like, yeah, I want to pick one of the 3 things that they're giving me.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's what I'm thinking. Is like, wouldn't you be so grateful if the algorithms actually worked and it presented you something that you actually wanted to watch?
And you can apply that to everything, right? You can apply that to any kind of algorithmic, feed on YouTube. It's the same, right? I have to make sure that if I watch something or like a video on YouTube that's an edge case interest of mine, that I go back and I delete it from my watch history, because I know that YouTube is just going to go, oh, you're interested in Siberian barbecue. Well, here's 35 different channels of that specific thing, because it's actually dumb. They're actually not that smart. So if I were to go on, and I don't know whether that ties into the rise of like streaming, where you don't have to make a decision. You can just sit there and just have the one thing on, even if it is complete slop. Could be something to that. You're not having to make a decision.
Have you ever had YouTube ask you? I had this once on the app, on the mobile app, where YouTube asked me specifically, like, what do you like? And it gave me a list of videos. It was like trying to tailor the algorithm to my interests based on what I actually picked, like, from this list at this one time. And I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even pick, like, when faced with the choice of, like, what is YouTube going to show me from here on out, I was like, I don't know. Well, like, I guess I like this, but, like, I don't really want YouTube to show me a bunch of this. I almost preferred it when YouTube just shows me stuff based on what I actually click on.
Rather than trusting it to anticipate what you might want to.
Rather than trusting myself to determine that. It's like YouTube shows me what it knows I like. It shows me the videos that I click on that I actually it's not based on like my brain of like what I think I like. It's what I actually click on. Like, I watch those police body cam footage videos just because I like to see people, I guess, getting in trouble with the police. I like that. I like watching that. I want to see that. It feels like it's educational for me. It's like if I get in trouble with the police, I'll have a little bit of information about how I should act. But like when YouTube asks me specifically, like, what do you want to watch? I can't even make the choice. I'm paralyzed with indecision because I don't want YouTube to be like, yeah, you said this. You said that you like this. I want it to just
take you at your word.
Because it doesn't. I don't even believe myself. YouTube knows better than what I know what I want to watch.
Do you ever on your homepage? Do you ever click the 3 dots, the ellipses, and then say, I don't like this video?
I do, because sometimes I get things that I really don't want to see. YouTube knows that I'm interested. It can be like a hate watch. Like I watch something because I don't like it, but I want to I want to stew in the hate of it, and then I have to afterwards click the 3 dots and be like, all right, not interested. Please don't show me that, because I will click on it.
So instead of the 2 options, right, when you click on the 3 dots and you say, I don't want this video, it gives you 2 options. I don't like the video, or I've already watched the video. If we were to have this whole situation of the personal AI, right, you've got a personal AI who's handling your advertising profile, right, and curating it and interacting with the ad world. It would be more than just 2 options. Because that was a hate watch. You can feed me one of those videos once every 2 weeks when you can sense that I'm in that kind of mood, and then it'll feed it to you right at the right moment. But at the moment, it's not a very robust algorithm. You know, if you tell it, I don't like this video, you get, I've already watched it, or I don't like it. There's no nuance to it.
So do you think, like, this would be the question I have then, is like, do you think we should have more control over our ad profile or less? Should it be that, like, should we be able to access it specifically and be like, these are things that I will watch, but when I'm in a specific mood, and then you can just, like, on your YouTube homepage, just be like, I'm in a hate watching mood. I want to see all the videos that I hate to watch, but I do click on them, but I hate watching them. Or should it just, or should it be this all encompassing thing of just like, we will try to understand your mood? Do you think you should have a choice over that as an individual, like what sort of stuff you're watching, or do you think that the algorithm should take over and just tell you what they know that you want to watch?
It depends if we're talking about how it is now or how it is in the future. How it is now, I think we should have more input because it's not at a point where it's clever enough to fine tune it. But I think ideally, I think the less input we have in restricting in filtering what is available to us, the better, because I think people are really, really bad at branching out when they're by themselves online.
Yeah.
They want to, we've been herded into filter bubbles, but we also do it to ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why the news is all blood and gore and divisive stuff or really feel-good stuff is because that's what we choose to watch.
Right.
We don't really like putting ourselves outside our comfort zone. So,
like, it would be great.
That in, and I think
it would be great if there was an option on YouTube that was just like, I want to watch videos right now that all have less than 1,000 views. And they're still...
That's exactly right.
They're still based on, like, you know, like my interests generally, but like I want to see stuff that people haven't seen before, and I want to determine for myself, like, whether that's worth it or not to make that leap. That's something that's very much not an option because, you know, all these sites, they want you to watch things that, you know, they want you to get on bandwagons.
Well, they want you to get on bandwagons, but it's also, like, there is an element of, like the back end, the technical capability of the platform, right? They have so much data, they have to store it. It's the same with Netflix, right? They'll have the license for all these movies, and they're all available there if you search for them. But they have to optimize what content is easily available and what content is kind of in like an archive state. So all content on YouTube isn't stored in the same way. So like the videos from 10, 15 years ago that have 2 views, they take a little bit more to load, to pull up out of like a more archived state. Mm-hmm. Because if they stored everything readily available, they just wouldn't be optimized. You wouldn't get like the ability for you to access it quickly like you do on the really popular stuff. So they're incentivized for the bandwagon aspect, but they're also incentivized just because we're not at a point where we can store like trillions of whatever insert metric here of videos easily accessible.
So there is like a technological shortcoming here that is preventing us from.
Yeah, for the video, for the high, like the high HD video servers of the world, you know, like YouTube and Netflix. There's definitely like a technical limitation. They can't store everything the same way. If you were to search up Good Burger 2, I'm sure you could get the movie up and then load it, right? But it's not going to necessarily constantly be there on people's feeds because they go through cycles of stuff that they want to present to their audiences based on their likes. And then also, oh, hey, we have this stuff, I guess kind of on the back shelf of the DVD closet. it's a bit more effort to go and get it out and put it in the tray versus the stuff that we have here we're showing on or putting on show.
In your mind, then, in your personal opinion, do you think that where do you think things are trending towards? Is it that we will be more herded towards more popular content as time goes on, or will technology bring us to the point where like it could your targeted algorithm could be personalized enough that you could be seeing new things that you are interested in that are not part of the bandwagon experience?
I think I have thought about adjacent type questions. I do wonder if we're going to hit a threshold of there is so many people uploading so much content to the internet because phones are more accessible, video editing is more accessible.
And it's like lower effort content is more accessible even because of your phones and stuff. Like you said, like you can just take a little video of yourself on your phone, and that could even be something that is viral or popular.
And even like there's a lot of tools coming out that are currently external to apps like TikTok and Instagram, but once they kind of, just wait for Meta or Facebook to acquire like the top text to video generation tool, right, and incorporate that into Instagram. And now you've got people like, drawing their own motion graphics in HD and the templates and everything.
Like on
so we're going to hit a threshold, I think. Yeah. Where there's just too much content, and I think if they can get it right, if they can get out of this mentality of the old kind of, I do feel like Silicon Valley has been trending on the they've been standing on the shoulders of giants in the way that they approach advertising and the way that they build their algorithms. But if there's a bit of a culture shift, because we've hit so much content, there's too much content. Like we've got to kind of specialize it. We've got to focus in and fine tune it because there's billions of people on our app and there's trillions of gigabytes of content. We need to know more about our users. And I think you might find that actually trends in a way that is more beneficial for the users, for the people, right? I think ultimately it will be in the business's interest to treat people in a way that is better for their health. Because at the end of the day, if everyone's depressed, sexless, stuck inside, yeah, it might make a bit of money at the moment, but I think once they start to think, 30, 40 years ahead, they might actually have the data to go, oh, hold on, we're going to shoot ourselves in the foot if we don't start trying to improve people's lifestyles. And you might say that that's a bit like, like the social credit system, that sort of thing. But I do think ultimately, when we think about the government or businesses or corporations controlling people, we think about the people that we love and we don't want them to get controlled. There's a lot of people on Earth, dude, and I would say just under half of them are below average, right?
Right.
And I think some of those people need to be told what to do, personally.
All right. Hey, thanks for calling in. Thanks for calling.
Hey, real quick. When you click on a website and you get an ad on the left-hand side, like a Google ad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the second you click on that website, you know how it takes a little bit to load? What's happening is there's an AdSense marketplace, and there's a bunch of ad companies that are bidding on the right to serve you that ad. So when you see that ad, that has been hard fought and won to be served to you. So don't forget that. They bid in real time to show you those ads, real time. So just maybe stop when you look at the ads every once in a while. Thank you, sir.
All right. Have a great day, dude.
Goodbye.
Thanks for calling in. Yeah, brings up an interesting point. And I guess what I think about when I am thinking about that and the future of ads is what he was talking about with there's only going to be more content. As time goes on, it becomes easier to do. More and more people start doing it. More and more people think that that's their job, is to serve the internet. And, you know, for a lot of people, it's like a thinking of a way to be popular or be famous, which is like some sort of, evil thing, like the desire to be famous. But sort of what it comes down to is like if you want to make things for the internet, you have to determine of your own free will whether you want to serve the algorithm or not, whether you are making stuff to acquire an audience. Well, I feel like anybody who's making stuff is trying to acquire an audience, and it's like whether you want to game the system or not, whether you want to make stuff that you think is good versus whether you want to make stuff that you think will acquire you an audience. And I think that's something that happens on YouTube a lot. I can't speak to the other platforms because I'm not really on there, but like the idea, we see it on YouTube of just like so many people who make YouTube videos are clearly trying to feed into the algorithm. They're trying to do what they think the algorithm wants, this nebulous thing of like, I think this will get me views. And I did that, back in like, I remember having that thought like in high school and when I was early on in YouTube, just thinking like, this is what will get views, like trying to make videos for that purpose. And that's where the weirdness, that's where the insidious part of ads come in, is like whether you're trying to make something that is actually appealing to you or whether you just think it will be appealing to others. And that could come more into play in the future, is like where you can't get views, whether based on just like what you think is good. You have to actually like specifically game the algorithm in these very specific ways, because then you're kind of, nobody's winning in that scenario. It's just like everyone's making this very ad-friendly content that nobody wants to see versus someone who's making something that's particular to them, that just by the virtue of being something unique is applicable to other people. Anyway, I'm going to take another quick break. I know it's just one call, but we'll just do one more break here, and then we'll do one more quick call-in section at the end here, and then we'll be done. We're talking about ads. This is all music from Pure Midi Volume 2. Click on the link in the description. This music, it's free download for this whole album. I'm only playing about half of it. Not even. So, yeah. Okay, we're back. Oh.
Call from
Shane.
Shane?
Hey, yo.
Yo, Shane.
Me.
We're talking about ads today. You got any...
So I've heard.
Yeah, you got any targeted ads you want to talk about? Or you just want to talk about ads generally?
Probably ads in general, because I use an ad blocker. I don't know if you've already talked about that.
Yeah, only a little bit. So that's for your desktop or your laptop. What about for your phone? Do you have that on your phone too?
You know, there are apps for the phone. They're like a little trickier to install, but I even did that. They don't work as good. They work better on like a computer.
All right, so what do you want to say about ads generally then?
Well, I think if we want to understand the future of ads, we got to look to the past.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know a man named Edward Bernays?
No.
He was the nephew of Sigmund Freud, and he's called the father of public relations. So he actually came up with that term because the previous term that they used, propaganda, started getting bad press. But he was in charge of like multiple campaigns in the early and mid 20th century. One of them was like cigarette companies. You know, men were smoking. That was socially acceptable. But it wasn't socially acceptable for women to smoke. So the cigarette companies were trying to come up with a way, how do we get women to smoke? Right? So Bernays' whole thing is like, let's figure out how to make people want things that they don't think they want, or they don't want right now. Let's somehow get them to desire it. So what he did was, like, during a parade, he had a bunch of feminists smoke cigarettes. He paid them during the parade. They'd be smoking cigarettes, and the women who saw this parade modeled their desire after, you know, like these celebrities. And it worked. It totally worked. He also got people to like eat bacon, and he worked with there's some like fruit company that overthrew like the Guatemalan government. And then he also worked with like World War II propaganda. He was very influential.
So do you think that ads in general, like they are just like a form of propaganda where they're trying to get you to want things that you didn't necessarily want before?
Yeah. And I mean, like, there's good and bad. Like, you know, I didn't know I wanted an air fryer before I got one, but now that I have one, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So like, there are benefits of like products, but I think like a lot of why things are so like weird now is just kind of like this unhinged desire, or really like unfulfilled like desire and fantasy that a lot of people have in their minds, like almost constantly.
In the sense that like people think they're unfulfilled in their lives, and so there's something out there that they've never even heard of that's going to like bring them to the next level.
Yeah, like that was another thing that Bernays worked on. Taking from Freud, you know, he was very interested in like unconscious desire. And so like some of the ads for like automobiles back in the 50s and 60s, they're actually really funny to watch because they're like almost like explicitly like sexual. Like there will be like a woman looking at a car And she's like, "Oh, look at how long it is. I can't wait to like sit in it." And so they're turning the automobile, which is just a thing that like it's a form of transportation, into a symbol of like a male sexual energy, like a penis.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting how our unconscious desires become embedded in products. So like an easy one is, like beauty products for women. For men, I mean, they have the same thing, like a nice suit. But then, like more ephemeral stuff betting, gambling is like really common nowadays. And it's the desire that, at the turn of a card, you can have so much more money, and like money is power. So, but I think it also applies to like people's relationships. Is like we get unrealistic expectations about the mate we could have, and it just doesn't work out like that.
Yeah. Well, dude, thanks for calling in. Great hearing you from you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
All right, have a good one, dude. Dude. Hello?
Hello.
Yo, who's this?
Is this for the Minute Hour Call-In show?
Yeah, you're on, dude. Who's this?
Oh, hi. So I want to add on to the last guy's point.
Okay.
He was talking about how they're advertising gambling a lot now, and I really think that's an interesting point there, because I know you're up in New York, so in the Albany area, I'm down here in Maryland. Around here, we've started getting a lot more ads for DraftKings, the sports site.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the same up by you.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because the more people advertise, the easier it is to tell they're struggling.
How do you mean?
They're desperate for customers, so that's why they're advertising more in order to get these last customers. And there's a lot of things like gambling, alcohol, all of that. They have to advertise so much. Another thing I find weird is apparently ads for prescription medicine is like solely an America thing.
Yeah, you see that a lot on like the cable news shows. They're advertising a lot of meds.
Like Ozempic comes to mind.
Mm.
And they give them these weird cheery jingles. I find it funny. My buddy made a joke the other day. They were talking, who's your favorite rapper? And he goes, the guy who lists the side effects on the medicine commercials.
Do you feel like, so you're talking about ads that like don't feel like they're targeted to you specifically. It's kind of like fun to listen to those ads because you don't feel like you're being sold to, really. You feel like it's being sold to someone else.
But, I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube, and the YouTube ads are getting consistently weirder.
Yeah, like what are you getting ads for?
I'm getting a lot of ads for the Daily Wire, and their movie Lady Ballers. Those are like the two ads I've gotten consistently. But like, it's funny how they target those ads. It's kind of creepy in a way to me. That they watch you so much that they can know what to advertise to you. It's kind of unsettling, kind of creepy in a way.
I felt like, I sometimes like to watch YouTube compilations of ads from the 70s or 80s or 90s just to watch old ads, because I feel like they're so old that they're clearly not targeting me at all. Like they couldn't be targeting someone 30 years in the future or 40 years in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of fun to watch them and just be like, oh, like just to see like, oh, ads are fun and something. It feels weirder when I feel like I am the audience.
Yeah, I like some of the old PSAs, especially the British ones.
Like
British
what? I've only
PSAs
seen like the more you know type PSAs.
British PSAs are insane. There is one where they go to a little power plant and little Timmy kicks a ball into the fence of the power plant, and his friend is like, "Oh, just go get it," and it just goes off the fucking rails.
What happens? Does he get brutally murdered?
Yes. He gets shocked to death. Literally.
Wow.
He gets shocked to death on the PSA. And they were showing this to children. Like, it was insane. They would show it to children.
Does that feel... It feels funny to watch it because it's not current, or is this a modern ad?
This is the 70s, but they do have some modern versions. Like there's one where it's a woman in the workplace and she's in the kitchen. She goes, "I'm going to get married." And they go, "Oh, no, you're not." Basically, and she slips in a pot of grease, gets horribly burned and killed, and it's an ad for workplace safety.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen the Irish one? There's one where it's speeding. They're speeding through, and it's a speeding PSA, and it starts off with a group of preschoolers. And the preschoolers are basically going through just a normal day, and this guy comes speeding down the curve, and it shows an empty classroom afterwards. It goes like, "Speeding kills, don't speed."
He sped through the whole class?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, nice.
And like, another thing I feel has changed a lot than before, movie trailers. If you look at movie trailers from like the 80s or the 90s, like they're normally, this is who's starring in the movie, this is what the movie's kind of about, and it's always normally a voiceover. Dead Poet Society trailer comes to mind. And what's interesting is that you don't see that now. The 2000 comedies also did it.
Now it's like the Inception music, like the and just like a couple of shots real quick.
It's all this big music, these lines, and then big credit names. And it's kind of lost that endearing simplicity to me.
Is that just like, is that a generational thing? Do you think that, I mean, like younger people probably don't even have the conception of what old trailers were like. They probably just think that's what trailers are like.
Yeah. Funny enough, I'm 16, so.
Oh, wow. So you just, you just look through these old things?
When I grew up, we had DVDs for everything. You know, there was Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island. That was a DVD. I'll never forget the trailers on that DVD. They were all that kind of 2000s comedy-style trailers. And the other thing is that we see this push for ads that just like, ow. I'm sorry, I'm looking at your chat. Somebody just said I sound 32.
It's okay. Don't read the
Somebody
chat.
called me the old kid like Jesus.
Do you think like movie trailers will turn into the Instagram ads that we have now, where it's just like a guy talking about, like on a podcast, he's just like, "Oh, dude, I saw this movie. It fucking fucked me up, dude." Like, and the other guy's just like, "Oh yeah, dude, that fucking movie. I've heard about that movie." Like, will they stop just being trailers entirely? They'll start just being people talking about things on podcasts?
You know, every movie trailer will start with Joe Rogan.
Dude, I watched this movie.
Man,
before every
I got
podcast.
some Alpha Brain, and then I watched this movie.
You haven't seen this movie until you've seen it on Alpha Brain.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Meanwhile in the corner.
Thanks for calling in.
The corner. Tell me more about it, Joe. All right, well, thank you for letting me call in.
Yeah. Have a good day, dude.
Have a nice night.
Bye. Yeah, I would like to see where ads are going, because it seems like the general direction is just people talking about things on other internet things that already exist. Like, that's a way to lend legitimacy to a product. Ooh, this is a suspected spam caller, says Google.
Call from
Clayton.
That's not a Clayton?
Hi, Norm McDonald. I'm back.
Dude, Google told me you were a spam caller.
Oh, what? Yeah, because I kept trying to get a hold of you.
Oh, okay. We're talking about ads today. What kind of ads are you seeing? You getting targeted ads or what?
Oh, boy. I have a story to tell you.
All right.
So, I'm sure you remember me faintly near the beginning of the year, the guy that kept interrupting you. I'm so sorry for that.
No worries, dude.
Well, I spent over half my life in atheism, okay? Like hardcore atheism and really worldly.
This is the first half or the second half?
Oh, like second half, like since I was like 15 or 16 or whatever. But I'm 31 now, about to be 32. But yeah, I was really dead set against not believing in God. I thought it was nuts. And all kinds of people kept trying to, tell me about him, advertise to me, if you will. And
in-person
my parents,
ads.
and
really targeted. Your family's targeting you.
Yeah, well, it wasn't just my family. It was just like it was everything from everywhere, and I just kept, I kept rejecting it and stuff. And one day I was, like I was starting, I prayed. I asked. I said, okay, Lord, if you're there, if you exist, please show me things that, and I prayed in my head too, because, I had this whole paranoia thing, about, people gaslighting me and stuff because, schizophrenic kind of tendencies or whatever. So, I prayed in my head and I asked for him to show me repeated signs, okay, that I can't explain away through gaslighting or through thinking that, that it was just, my head playing tricks with me. Mm-hmm. And this is just, one of few examples, but one example was that a few months ago, I was standing outside my house and I was looking at my phone and I was about to, this was around the time that he started to, really show me stuff. And I was going to sin on my phone, if you know what I mean. Just, look at stuff on my phone. And I was just standing outside having a smoke, just smoking a cig. And it wasn't raining or anything. It wasn't storming much, but actually it wasn't, I don't even think it was storming. But I was about to, do the thing on my phone. And then a big loud lightning bolt came down like really near me. And it scared the crap out of me. And I sat down in my chair and I was like, okay, I'm paying attention. I put my phone away. And then 2 more lightning bolts came down side by side. And they were really close too still. And I was like, wow, because I started to pay attention. And then after that, man, like all kinds of other stuff. Like there's also a, in my room, there's a hallway and a light that hasn't been working for like a year. And I didn't flip the switch or anything. It just came on randomly. And then it was amazing. And it doesn't work to this day. It doesn't work, but it worked that moment. And then a few days ago, I woke up in the middle of the night Oh man, there's so much. Oh, there's so much information. There's so much stuff that has happened. Like, it would take way too much time to explain it all, but I woke up in the middle of the night one night speaking in tongues, my dude, like actual tongues. Like when
you
like
woke
at first I woke up.
You woke up
Dude,
and you were already
up.
talking?
I woke up. I was looking around. It was dark and stuff, and then I just immediately started speaking in tongues. Like it wasn't forced. I wasn't high or anything. I haven't done drugs or anything or drink or whatever in the past 3 months. To this day, I haven't looked at porn or anything. I haven't, I used to be really gay too. And like, I don't have any more I don't have any more gay desires. Like none of that stuff.
Dude.
And then I spoke in tongues, dude. Okay. Like actual tongues, like that language you hear when you go to a church or you hear people and you think that they're just doing it for attention.
Right.
Like it happened to me, dude.
You were awoken and you so what did you feel like what was making did you feel like you were made to speak tongues or was it something else?
No, it happened. It just happened. It happened. Like I had no control. It was like it was so amazing, and I knew what it was too. Because I was doing research on it for a long time actually. And then it just happened. I've been helping out homeless people. I've been helping out at homeless shelters and stuff. I destroyed most of my video games. I used to have all the Pokemon, dude, like stuff from like the Game Boy era, dude, like good stuff. And I gave all of it up. I stopped cursing and everything. Like my whole world felt like an upside down cross that was flipped right side up. Like I know I sound nuts, and anybody who's listening, especially someone who's in the world, like you don't get it. You just don't get it until it happens to you. And I am now passing the advertisement onto y'all and telling you that God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son, and that whoever believes in him won't perish, but have eternal life. And he didn't send his son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him. So what's the other thing I want to say?
I don't want to. I'm going to ask this, and I'm sincerely not trying to diminish what you're saying.
Right. Yeah, go ahead. Ask me anything. It's cool.
But just in this sense, is like, do you feel like you opened up yourself to be targeted? We're using ad terms today, so I'm just in the ad mindset. So, do you feel like you were targeted by God? It was just like you kind of like opened yourself up, and you're like, this is, I've been against this for a while, and now.
Yeah. We can't be saved. We're not saved by ourselves. We're saved by Him, and not through works either, but through grace. And
dude, I was watching.
Who isn't spiritual, huh?
No, I was watching that movie Signs, like last week. You ever seen that movie Signs?
No, I haven't.
Well, dude, it's a M. Night Shyamalan movie, and.
Oh, I don't like that guy. I think he's lame.
Well, hey, to each his own. There's a great monologue in that movie, which I liked a lot upon listening to it, where it's a former pastor played by Mel Gibson. We can trust Mel Gibson. He's a religious guy. But he talks about how...
I mean, being religious isn't really good either, because that's legalism.
No, yeah, okay, I hear that. Well, just in this monologue that he talks about, he says that there's two types of people, and that there's people who believe that things happen for a reason, and there's people who don't. And it's sort of like the people who believe that things are occurring with some sort of grand design in place, like they have a feeling of comfort that is given even in the most dire circumstances. It's like
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Oh man, so you've seen A Christmas Carol, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Wait, the
so,
Muppets movie or what?
You know, no.
Wait,
I
what?
mean the old Charles Dickens story movie.
Is that a movie?
Slash thing where the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, Future,
okay,
all that with Scrooge and all that.
I know the Muppets
Yeah.
version, but
Okay.
yeah, I get.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine not just witnessing like the Ghost of Christmas Present or anything, but like feeling like it, and then being that to people who are Scrooge.
Mm.
That feeling is like the most amazing feeling ever. To be filled with the Holy Spirit, dude, is greater than any high, greater than any sex you could have. And I've done it all, man. I've done all that. So I can tell you it's better than anything. It is greater than anything. He's greater than anything. And it's a shame because a person who's not, spiritual doesn't accept the teachings of God's Spirit. He thinks they're nonsense. He can't understand them because a person must be spiritual to evaluate them. And that's from 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 14.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, what I want to ask is, was it this particular thing that changed your perspective? This sort of, I guess I don't want to say religious moment, but like a spiritual moment. Something. Well, how would you describe what you had? A spiritual moment, perhaps?
Yeah, full communion with the Holy Spirit. It's
something that was personal to you. It wasn't like a pre-prescribed.
Yeah, and it's something I can't explain. I can't explain away either. And what sucks is that the only way that people are really going to get it, the only way that people could actually truly get it, is if I were to like mentally transfer that information to them.
So it is. It's a personal
you
thing that happened to you. That's what you're
Yeah.
saying is that it's it's not something that you can properly communicate to someone else because it was intensely personal to you. But in your
Yeah.
life before that moment, like are you seeking things that speak to
Well,
you?
I was already looking for God. I was already looking for God because I aligned with Him. I aligned with His whole, how He feels and stuff. And then I started to sympathize with Him. The character at first, because that's all He was to me before I got filled with Him. I started to really sympathize with Him, and then I started to talk to Him and wish to, like, if He's there, that, like, for Him to just, reveal Himself to me in a way that I can't explain away, with my own understanding and whatever. And it sucks too because we live in such an age where that, mental health is, like, at a really bad place, so like any spiritual moment or feeling or experience explained to someone else would just be thought of as, craziness or schizophrenia or whatever. But, like, unless it happens to you, man, like, but if it does happen to you, if you do, like, truly actually find God and you like witness his awesome power, like, really truly read the Bible, because, man, after that experience, dude, like,
well, what's your what's your personal, because you've had this experience, what do you think of?
Oh, it's a collection of experiences, man. It's a lot of stuff.
But what do you think of someone who has had a similar experience, but maybe they've gone too far with it? I've seen, like, a lot of, like, real schizo type people who, like,
okay.
Well, hold on, they'll see,
I'll
like,
explain that to you.
Well, but they'll see, like, they think that everything has meaning, and so it's like they'll see a number appear on their radio, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, that number means so much to me."
Yeah, that's legalism.
You think that's something that's pre-prescribed? It's not.
But
it's
I mean,
not personal.
God can speak to you whichever way He wants to. I mean, like with numbers and stuff, obviously. But like, to be OCD about it, that's not good.
So then, from your perspective, what is the goal here? What were you taught through your experience? Is the way that you ought to live?
I can tell you what He told me specifically. Take heart and endure. Keep your faith. Be honest and admonish the people. Hurt the demons, not the people. I'll protect you as I always have. I'm coming quickly. Hold fast what you have. Oh, wait, hold on. I'll protect you as I always have. That was his words. But then this is his word, like from the Bible. I'm coming quickly. Hold fast what you have so that no one may rob you and deprive you of your crown. Revelation 3:11. Also, I want to say that there's no real actually going too far in the faith, so long as you're not being legalistic. Like Mormons, for example, they're legalistic. Catholics, they're pretty, I would say that they're apostate at this point because of how woke they are, because, sexual immorality and all that. But anyway.
I guess, what do you mean by legalistic, I guess? Like, I don't know if I fully understand.
Well, legalism is like, for example, women not being allowed to wear pants. Okay, or like always washing your hands before you have a meal. But I just want to say, I want to say this before I forget, though, that when He comes back, and I really believe with all my might, but not might, because I have no might. It's only through Him that I can do anything. But I really believe, and I'm so happy that I got saved before I noticed that all this stuff. But I really think that the tribulation is likely to come very, very soon. And I know that we've been hearing all our lives that, the end is coming soon and whatever, from our parents, parents, all kinds of false, prophets and people saying that the world's going to end on this day. And they've been saying it for decades. They've been saying it for hundreds of years. And no one knows the time of day. No one knows the year, but I think it's very close. And He says that I know your deeds, that you're neither hot nor cold. I wish you were either one or the other. So because you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I am about to spit you out of my mouth. And what He means by that is He's talking about that all of the lukewarm Christians, all the people that you see, all the people, for example, in the Catholic Church that, do ungodly things to children. All the fake Christians, all the people that are, lukewarm in the faith, that, go to church only once out of the week, they're not going to be the ones to inherit the kingdom of God. And that's from Revelations, man. And it's really sad. And I mourn those people, like, for real. Like, I feel really bad because there's so many different religions and stuff. There's so many different things that can make you, like, question your faith and question everything because, dinosaurs and all that and, like the sun and, billions and millions of years for things to occur. But God can make things exist in an instant. He can poof them into existence like it's some kind of Minecraft world. It's nuts. Yeah, so man,
what would you say then from your own personal perspective, like what is God giving you that is making your life better? You went without it for a while, and then you had this experience, and now you're in it fully.
True comfort, true joy, and repeated a laundry list of instances, that supernatural instances that indicate that he's there. And I really should have prepared like some kind of book or whatever and read it to you this whole time. I guess that's probably why it took me so long to reach you, because I went to Walmart, I went to the Chinese restaurant and back during this whole thing, this whole podcast that you've been doing. I've just been running around trying to get a hold so that I can tell you all, because I was tasked to tell y'all stuff. I really don't care what happens. I'm not doing it for any kind of gain. I don't want recognition. I don't want money. I don't want fame. I don't want any of that. I don't care about any of that. In fact, there's another verse. I consider my life worth nothing to me. My only aim is to finish the race and complete the task the Lord Jesus has given me, the task of testifying to the good news of God's grace. And that's from Acts 20:24. Mm-hmm. And, he also says that whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For whoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul? Or what shall a man give in return for his soul? And that's from Matthew chapter 16, verses 24 through 26. And like I said, man, like out of gratitude, I didn't get sick. I wasn't going to die. I didn't think the world was ending. I did all of this out of gratitude. And I'm not trying to be boastful or anything because, again, we're saved by grace, not by works. I threw away a good majority of things that can never be replaced, like old video game stuff, like just destroyed it. Like I torched my old laptop and everything, like.
All right, well, this would be the last thing I ask you because we've been going for a while here. But if
I'm sorry.
No, it's no problem at all. But if you could think about your life prior to having this experience and after, what is the thing that you think that people are doing generally in the mainstream that is that demon that you're talking about? Like what is it that people shouldn't be doing that they are doing that
they need to stop being comfortable in sin. They need to stop lying to themselves. People are lying to themselves and they're comfortable with sin. They're basically wetting the bed in the spirit. I consider free will in the mortal realm to be cursed because of our fallen nature, and we're susceptible to self-destruction no matter what. Our bodies, our hearts, our own minds betray us. It's important that we all surrender our mortal free will to Christ.
So if you're thinking about that, though, in the modern sense, though, like people who are like you before you had this experience, like you were talking about, like porn and stuff like that. Like that's one thing that I think you're talking about. But like, what are the sorts of specific behaviors that you think are damaging people?
Comfort in sin. I would say that, sexual immorality, people, for example, pride. I used to think that, the whole Pride festival and being gay was something to be proud of, but really what it actually is it's a trick. Before the flood happened, the reason why it happened, especially, when God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, for example, he did it because they were practicing sexual iniquity. They were, being gay to each other and everything like that. And God really didn't like that. He really didn't like that at all. And
so is that a big thing to you then? Like sort of like, is that sex before marriage, or what is the specific sexual
you have to, you gotta be married before you have sex, But I would say, unfortunately, the flesh side of me would say, unfortunately, but because I'm aligned with him and what he wants, I want what he wants. So I see it as good because he is good and all knowing. And for whatever, his reasoning is, it's his reasoning, and we shouldn't be selfish about it. We're but tiny in the vastness of space and the vastness of who he is. And I would say that, when he destroyed, like when he flooded the earth, after everything, he, put up his rainbow, as a promise that he'll never flood the earth again. And then people just flaunt it around and use the rainbow as like a sort of blasphemous, we're gonna do all this stuff, like the demons that are inhabiting people. For example, like, people aren't born in the wrong body. It's just the demons that are in them are trying to make the body more like theirs, so that they're comfortable.
So when you think about these sorts of sexual things, like you're not.
I don't have a sexual appetite anymore.
No, but like what might be a general viewpoint about this sort of thing in regards to religion or spirituality is that a lot of people might think that these are really like old points of view and having to do with like abstinence or like.
Well, they're wrong.
Okay, so that's what I want to get at is just that you don't view it as something that's like the old world. You're viewing it as something that's like timeless.
God's
and,
word.
Okay.
God's word never changes. His truth is absolute. You know, and you know, a lot of people, most people aren't going to accept that, especially with, you know, the way that things are. And, you know, like I really feel like, you know, I feel like I've just barely escaped flames, you know, like my salvation and everything, because I didn't even realize that the world was ending. Like I knew it was getting bad, but I didn't really realize that it was ending, you know, until after my salvation. And now I'm like mortally afraid, like, of people, because there's going to be so many people who are just literally just cannonballing in hell. Remember that video you made of the guy that like said he hates his life and he wanted to be grilled and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That's horrifying. That's literally what people are doing with their souls. That's a good video, by the way. But
Thank
yeah, that's straight up nightmare fuel, man. Like that's exactly what people are doing to their souls, and it's sad. It's like everybody has this like this Willy Wonka, this spoiled child Willy Wonka mentality, you know? Or like, you remember that horrifying scene in Pinocchio where the boys turn into donkeys and stuff?
Yeah.
That's basically what's happening to people, and they don't even realize it. And all these religions and stuff are distractions. They're all anything that isn't Christian, anything that isn't God, like literally from God. Like God is literally the only right God. All the other, there are other gods, but they're all evil. They're all wicked. They're all, you know, fallen, you know, angels. They're all fallen angels. They're demons, man, you know? And the reason why that Christianity isn't as old as the other religions is because they didn't, you know, Christianity or whatever. First of all, Christianity wasn't really established until after Christ, which is thousands of years after the world was made.
Mm-hmm.
But Christianity, as you know, the originalness, you know, like Yahwehism or whatever, like Judaism, you know, it was word of mouth for a very long time. And one of the tenets of the religion, I use religion in a loose sense because for real, it's not religion. You know, like God, loving and knowing of God is not religion, it's truth. And everybody in this world is deceived. Like people say, hey, you know, we're probably in a simulation. Well, it's true. It's God's simulation. And all these other gods and stuff, they you know, our God, the God, the true God, you're not allowed to have idols or anything about them. And, you know, and because it was word of mouth for so long until Jesus, or actually until Moses, because he was the original one that started writing stuff, there were idols and ancient stuff that like survived, you know, the flood. And then people look at it and all this ancient stuff, and then they're like, you know, well, you know, these religions are older. And it's like, no, they're not older. It's just they're remnants, you know. And dinosaurs, they're, you know, we're wrong about fossils and stuff.
It was so personal to you, like having this experience, like you called out for this. I don't want to say like specific God, but like
everybody.
But you were calling out for a kind of specific Christian God when you when you had your moment. Like, do you feel like other people are calling out to the wrong God when?
Yeah, they are. And I actually am under this assumption. Yeah, I'm also under this assumption that the Muslim God, which people try to say is God, that's wrong. Really, what I think is going to happen is they have this little cube thing that they worship, right? Okay, and they also have this beast that they worship, that the images of it. Okay, and there's this black stone that's on the inside. There's just so much to it. I think what's going to happen is the Muslim Messiah or whatever, the Muhammad, I think it is. I think he's going to be the Antichrist. I think he's going to down and fool everybody. I think he's even going to fool the Jews because the Jews don't even believe in Jesus. And then everybody's going to follow the Jews because they're going to be like, oh, well, you know, Israel and stuff. And, you know, like, I think everybody's going to be fooled, man. Like,
yeah, but these are, I mean,
all religion that isn't of Christ, all religion that isn't God is just, it's evil, it's Satanism.
Right.
And
well, these are just, you know,
truth.
It's hard to try to push a certain set of beliefs because it is so personal. Like, this is very personal to you. And what you're saying ultimately is like that people need to have their own personal experience to actually understand it, because you can't communicate it. So it's hard to say. I mean, from my perspective, like, I haven't had a personal experience with any kind of God, and so it's hard to for me to understand this sort of ultra personal thing. It seems like it's so specific.
If he does exist, would you say that you side with him? Would you say that you would like him to reveal himself to you if he exists?
I don't know, because it sounds so specific to even your own upbringing. Is like someone who's trying to forge a personal connection with their God. Like even their conception of God comes from what they were taught when they were younger, myself included.
Man, if only you guys have seen what I've seen, what I've felt.
No, I mean, I don't doubt at all, like, at what you felt.
Oh, no, I know. But I would recommend you that if you are serious about finding him, if you want to find him, you have to mean it with all your might. You have to mean it, and you have to come to him. You got to pray to him. You got to be like, hey, look, I want you to reveal yourself to me if you're really there, and make sure that you pray in your head, though, because the devil can't read thoughts. He can only put them in there. Just make sure that you pray in your head, be like, hey, God, show me stuff I can't explain away, because, I'm really smart, and I like to think that, I'm smart enough to explain anything. Show me things that are not just like give me supernatural experiences, right? But at the same time, it really depends, because an evil and adulterous generation craves a sign, yet no sign will be given to it except the sign of the prophet Jonah. Because just as Jonah was in the stomach of the sea creature for 3 days and 3 nights, so the Son of Man will be in the heart of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights. So like, he'll convict you. The Holy Spirit will convict you. But know that the devil, the Holy Spirit convicts us of sin. Satan encourages us to sin. The Holy Spirit points us to God. And Satan focuses on making people believe that they're too far gone.
All right, well, dude, sorry to cut it off right here, but I
no, you're good, man. I've been talking enough. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Thank you for calling in.
All right. God bless.
All right. Have a good one. Bye. Okay. Let's just call it there. This was a fun stream. We're talking about ads. Got into a little bit of God there at the end. I don't want to, I don't know, dude. I wish I had a stronger opinion on God and all that, but I'm just a guy. I don't have any strong opinions to say here. I do think there's some sort of like targeted advertisement there, It's like if you're so wanting God in your life, like, God's gonna hear that. He's got your ad profile better than anybody, and he's gonna really send a bolt of lightning right into your face. Is that good? I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. Anyway, that was the call-in show. Thanks everyone for calling in. We'll be back at some point in the next week or two. All the music from the stream is from Pure Midi Volume 2. If you go on the link in the description of this video, you can find this whole album. I've only been playing a sampling of it. It's a free album, free to download, so you can get that shit. Also, Chunk Monthly, chunkmonthly.gumroad.com. If you're interested in getting independent media sent to you every month, chunkmonthly.gumroad.com. That's a program that I am working on with Moxie Famous. We were making a zine for a while. Now we're doing all kinds of things: comics, zines, CDs, doodle books, all those sorts of physical media things. You can get things mailed to you every month. If you don't want to pay $10 a month, which is the cost of Chunk, you can put your email in the subscribe box of chunkmonthly.gumroad.com and get information on when New chunks are coming out. This has been the call-in show, and we'll be back soon, in a week or two. Thanks everyone for calling in, and goodbye.